What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories.
4GT. Chapter 067 Lupu's Stronger Fist, I am shocked. On hearing this, the world was stunned, how powerful Uranus was. Uranus destroys the country with one strike, isn't it terrifying? Incredible, even for the Admiral class, or even the Emperor class, it is extremely terrifying to destroy an island with one blow, but Uranus can destroy a country with one blow. If it is a country, it is too huge, and it is not comparable to islands. And now, this horrible weapon, above Logue Town, is targeting Lupu. Uranus, controlled by whom? Definitely the current king of the world. Being able to become the current king of the world, mysterious and powerful, and his own strength is not clear, but the Uranus controlled by him is so powerful, so the current king of the world is also terrifying. Could it be God level? This battle is not over yet, so it's hard to say what the outcome will be. Can Lupu handle it? Lupu is very strong, but he can't destroy the country with one blow, right? I heard that there were 10 six-paths rays at the time, so Lupu hit 16 punches with all his strength. Can he destroy the country? Although Lupu is terrifying, the world government cannot be underestimated. What will happen next, we will know soon. For a time, everyone in the world is looking forward to who is stronger, Uranus versus Lupu. At this time, the four emperors didn't know, after all, they didn't know about IM and Uranus either. However, IM's strength is definitely extremely strong. Being able to become the king of the world must depend not only on his identity, but also on his strength. It must be very strong to make 5 elders kneel. In the eyes of 5 elders, Admiral is like a watchdog. From the original plot, 5 elders' attitude towards Marshal Akainu can be seen. Marine's highest combat power is definitely not the strongest combat power under IM's control. There are also 5 elders, Uranus, and the Knights of God. If there is a word for God, and this Knights of God is equivalent to IM's forbidden army, then who is God referring to is naturally IM. Therefore, IM holds the God level. The world government can exist for 800 years, and Marine's combat power is only a part of it. Between flowers. I am contempt. It is very strong, but it is impossible to become the king of the world. Although I defeated 2 admirals in 4 rounds, admirals are only a small part of the combat power under my control. The combat power of the 5 elders, the Knights of God, the combat strength of the 9 people, as well as the Seraphim under development, there are too many powerhouses in CP0. You are very strong, but you are only one. No matter how strong you are, you can't be stronger than these alliances. It's a pity that you can't see it, and you are about to die, see the horrors of Uranus before. At this moment, Kaido said to himself, "Don't die, I still want to fight you one-on-one, and let the world know that I am the strongest and strongest creature in a one-on-one fight. Don't die, that title belongs to me again, but it's not about defeating you. It's because you died that you gave it back to me, which makes me unacceptable." Although Kaido said so, he was actually a bit against his will. Red Hair Pirates. The cadres were shocked. Uranus, so strong. Destroying a country with one blow is terrifying. Then Uranus's attack, or Lupu's fist, who is stronger? No one knows this, we can only wait for the follow-up. At this moment, Shanks was shocked. Did Uranus be used? Shanks has some understanding of the combat power of the world government, and he can meet the 5 elders. Unexpectedly, IM controlled Uranus from the air. It's hard to say who will win. Luffy's brother, I hope you don't fall down. At this point, the Whitebeard pirates are worried. Marco frowned. Uranus is so strong. Joes. It's terrifying to destroy a country with one blow. Don't worry, if something happens to Lupu, Ace and Vista will also be in danger. Yeah, definitely helping out against Uranus. They were worried. Lupu was scary, but Uranus was also scary. Whitebeard tried to teleport away again, sighing. Unfortunately, not in Logue Town, otherwise it can help Lupu fight Uranus's attack. Marco believes. Although Uranus can destroy the country with one blow, Lupu and Daddy can definitely fight against it. Even Daddy is better at fighting Uranus. After all, it is a shock fruit with the power to destroy the world. In terms of destructive power, Lupu is not as good as it is. Go to Daddy. Unfortunately, we can't help at all. Wait for the follow-up. The Whitebeard pirates became nervous again, not wanting anything to happen to Lupu, let alone Ace. At this time, Windmill Village. Makino was horrified. One blow can destroy a country, because of terror. The village chief was thinking, can Lupu's continuous impact on the Milky Way just destroy a country in an instant? Uranus is so scary. Has the current king of this world made a move? Then Lupu. Luffy frowned, believing, I believe my brother will shock the world again, nothing will happen. Nami, Nuo Chigao, and Kaya's hearts tightened. There are still such terrifying existences in the world, and they can destroy the country with one blow. They prayed inwardly. I believe Lord Lupu can fight against it. Even though Uranus is very strong, Lord Lupu is a god. At this time, Logue Town. The dragon is not particularly worried. Even if the destructive power is terrifying, if the world's strong are in the destroyed country, they may not die, because since it is a large area, it is spread out and the target can bear it. Though horrified by the horror of Uranus's destructive power, Ace thought so too. Advertisement. Brother is scary, I believe nothing will happen. At this time, people in Logue Town were panicking. The attack of Uranus is coming. Destroy a country with one blow, Then Logue Town can be destroyed hundreds of times in an instant. Run away. Uranus is terrible. Give up struggling. Uranus is too terrifying. There's no escape. It's too late. I don't want to die. There is still hope, and Lord Lupu. Logue Town is already Lord Lupu's territory. I believe nothing will happen. Yes, Uranus is a terror, but Lord Lupu is a god. He defeated Admiral in 4 rounds. He is too strong, and he can definitely fight against it. Master Lupu is so strong, he will definitely survive the power of destroying the country, and even protect Logue Town. Master Lupu, come on. They looked hopefully at Lupu. The voice of the announcer resounded, because the blue light bloomed in the very high altitude. Uranus is about to launch an attack. The Uranus attack is about to fall. Can Lupu hold up? I hope I can resist, otherwise we may all be destroyed. The world is silent, waiting for the follow-up. I think it may be able to compete. Janyuan Lupu is too scary. And at this time, between the flowers, I am convinced, sneered. Even if it's so strong, it can't escape Uranus's killing. The 16 firing lines are scattered and fall, which can destroy a country in an instant and disappear completely. However, the scattered power, your strength, can withstand it, but if it is gathered together woolen cloth. I am smiled, determined to win. Not becoming a marine is the decision you regret the most. Sengoku wants you to come back to the shore and use it for me, but there is no chance. Die. Thank you for your strength. Use your death to show my terror, Wang Wei. As Im's words fell, the attack fell over Logue Town. The 16 emission lines are not scattered, but gathered together, forming a beam of light with a diameter of 5 meters, falling from the sky. In an instant, the equipment of the news ship continued to shoot, and most of the people on the ground closed their eyes. It was too glaring, and they only saw the picture for a moment. That is, the 10 six-paths blue rays condensed into a blue beam of light, descending instantly, like a punishment from God. The target is Lupu. Unlike the rumored 16 firing lines scattered, but gathered together, if scattered, the destruction range is large, and the country can be destroyed with one blow, and if the 16 firing lines of the power of destroying the country gather together, then the attack power will be stronger. For a moment, they were terrified, thinking in their hearts that it might be difficult to resist, because the attacks of the power of destroying the country gathered. After this kind of attack is gathered, how terrifying will it be? Lupu can resist the Dark Hound without injury, but it doesn't mean that the Dark Hound has no harm to Lupu. There is a little bit, and Lupu is slightly scalded, just like the high temperature of more than 40 degrees on the face of an ordinary person. And this attack of Uranus is naturally much more terrifying than Dark Hound. The dragon's face changed in surprise, and he could still gather together, so there is no guarantee that Lupu can resist. The dragon exclaimed, Lupu, I will help you. Ace's face also changed in surprise. I don't know how powerful it is if we gather together. It's like compressing the power of destroying the country into only a certain space, so it is even more terrifying. Ace was about to rush forward. Brother, I'll help you too. Lupu, however, was more interested and amused. For a long time, being invincible is also lonely. The 2 admirals teamed up and were defeated by me in 4 rounds. And this blow is not bad. Leave it to me, and you still don't need to help me. This made the dragon, Ace, stop for an instant, still refusing to help. Although I was worried, I chose to stop and believe in my brother. Perhaps, this is what the eldest brother is looking forward to, and it can make the eldest brother feel more interesting. The azure blue beam of light falls, with terrifying power. It can instantly destroy a country in a large area, and instantly turn a country into nothing. Gathering and targeting one person is even more terrifying. Lupu made a fist with his right hand, his arm muscles swelled, and the conquerors twisted, a more powerful punch. This makes the dragon and Ace vibrate, stronger attacks. It's not surprising. After all, Akainu and Denuo Zhao Kazaru were defeated in 4 rounds, so it is naturally impossible to force Lupu's strongest attack. Facing the Uranus attack that fell instantly, Lupu punched fiercely. With a punch, the atmosphere above instantly shattered like a mirror. Ace was shocked. The atmosphere collapsed. This scene was only seen when Dad used the shock fruit ability, and the elder brother relied entirely on his fists. The atmosphere shattered by physical strength. However, in the next moment, Ace, Beasta, and Long were even more shocked. Not only is the atmosphere collapsing, but even the space is in turmoil. Under the impact of this punch, the space is shaking. Distorted. It's too terrifying. Even shock fruit can't do it. Biggest round. Fist bone galaxy impact. Boom. A punch blasted out, not a large-scale impact, but a columnar impact, blasting towards the falling Uranus condensed rays. Boom. The next moment, terrorist bombings erupted in the air. With the bombing, the surrounding space was violently turbulent. The power swept across, and the ripples were instantly visible to the naked eye, like a boulder thrown into the sea, and a circle of ripples swept across in an instant. In an instant, thousands of miles of clouds were cleared, and in an instant, there was no cloud for thousands of miles. At this time, who controlled Uranus between the Mariajoy flowers, felt it instantly and was extremely shocked. Just now, instead of going all out, there was a more fishy attack. However, the 16 firing line just punched Lupu, and as Lupu blasted out with the other hand, Im's face changed drastically. Not good. Chapter 068 Lupu punches stronger. Garp is stunned. Vomiting blood. Im's face changed drastically, and Lupu punched him again. If the first attack didn't collapse, he wouldn't panic, but he never expected that the attack aimed at Lupu alone by gathering the power of destroying the country was defeated by Lupu's first punch. This is what I did not expect, and he was able to defeat Uranus's first attack. He thought that the first attack would severely damage Lupu, but he was defeated in the end. At this time, Ace was shocked and relieved. Lupu's fist collided with the ray, and there was a stalemate. The terrifying force and the ray were in a stalemate, and an explosion roared immediately. Originally the dragon, Ace was worried, afraid that something might happen to Lupu. Because, during the bombing, the surrounding space is more violently turbulent, so the two sides facing the bombing will suffer the greatest aftermath. However, Lupu stood where he was, safe and sound. In the roar, Uranus's attack collapsed. This made the people in Logue Town relieved and extremely shocked. Uranus's attack was crushed by Lupu's punch. So strong. That was a blow to destroy the country, and it was compressed, making it even more terrifying. Lupu's fist, it's horrible. Great, it's all right. The announcer's voice resounded. Uranus attacked, 16 lines of fire, strike of extermination, and gathered only against Lupu, but was crushed by Lupu's stronger fists. This made the world even more shocked, and the shock from Lupu was really getting bigger and bigger. My god, that was a blow to destroy the country. Even, the country will instantly turn into nothingness, showing the horror of power. The compression range is reduced, but the attack will be stronger, and Lupu knocked it out with one punch. Too powerful, Lupu's fist is too terrifying. Is it over? It's over even. Marine didn't lose, and Lupu didn't win. But even so, Lupu won, and Marine just saved some face, thanks to Uranus, and even the king of the world. Without the actions of Uranus and the king of the world, Marine would have suffered a disastrous defeat. It's too embarrassing. Uranus's attack won't be just one wave, right? Perhaps, although it is a wave, but destroying the country with one blow, if it can be sustained, it will be too terrifying. Maybe it can last 257, but it can't last forever, but it will definitely disappear after more than one blow. After all, it is the current king of the world, and it will last for 800 years, so it must be gone after more than one blow. We will definitely try our best to solve Lupu. After all, Lupu is too terrifying in this battle. Marine and world government are all clear. However, if we try our best to make Uranus unable to use it for a short time after this battle, wouldn't it be dangerous? After all, Lupu is not the only enemy of the world government and Marine. There are also many powerful pirates in the Revolutionary Army. There are many strong pirates, but they are scattered and will not be united. Although the Revolutionary Army is powerful, it will not act. Don't think that the king of the world depends on it. Only Uranus must have a lot of powerful combat power. Therefore, even if it is used at full power Uranus, either. It is possible that the fighting will continue. Everyone in the world is discussing and looking forward to who will win and who will lose. At this moment, the ant was shocked. She was thinking, if she and Kaido teamed up to hit a Bahai, I might not be able to match this terrifying blow from Uranus, and he and Kaido might be injured. However, he was crushed by Lupu's punch. At this time, Kaido's face was ugly, and Lupu was unharmed, which was difficult for him. However, it doesn't mean that he is not the strongest creature. Lupu's vitality is definitely not as good as his own. Defense, speed, and strength are above me, but my vitality is definitely not as good as my own. After all, I am only a human being, and my vitality is innate. I have racial advantages and ability advantages. Lupu City is an ordinary human race. At this time, Shanks exclaimed, it's really strong, but it's not over yet. Maybe it's the beginning of the battle between Lupu and Uranus. It won't end just like this. Now that you have used. Then I am definitely going to want to do it, and that is to deal with Lupu. As for even if it can't be used for a while, I am as not worried. After all, his subordinates still have 5 elders and the Knights of God. Quote. Moreover, Shanks heard that Vegapunk is developing a weapon comparable to Shichibukai. If successful, it can completely replace it, or even replace it at the beginning, and the developed one can grow. Known as Seraphim, there are also Cap Zero, and Marine, so even if Lupu is god level, in Shanks' view, Lupu still has a long way to go if he wants to become the new king of the world. At this moment, the leaders of the Whitebeard pirate team cheered and breathed a sigh of relief. Amazing. Sure enough, to defeat Akainu and Kizaru, there is no strongest attack. We lost in 4 rounds, and Akainu and Kizaru couldn't get out. We used the strongest attack. Will Uranus continue to attack, even stronger? It's not over yet, it's not certain, it's still dangerous. Ace and Ace's big brother, be fine. At this time, Whitebeard sighed softly. This battle let me know that the original Rox is still far away from being the king of the world. Even without the cooperation of Garp and Roger, it would be difficult for Rox to become the king of the world. King, mysterious and powerful, this Uranus is truly terrifying, but if Ace's big brother can survive and grow, he will be the most hopeful. Naval Headquarters. Sengoku breathed a sigh of relief. IM took control of Uranus and made a shot, believing that Lupu would definitely be dealt with, and Akainu and Kizaru were also saved. However, his face soon became heavy, and he didn't have much advantage in one blow. This Lupu was too outrageous. Sengoku said with a headache. Garp, at first I thought that your grandson Lupu was on par with you, but now it seems that it is not only simply stronger than you, but probably several times stronger than you. Garp was delighted, but also shocked, in disbelief. I knew that I would surpass me, but I didn't expect it to be so early, and I didn't expect to be able to surpass me by so much, directly several times stronger than me. Sengoku's eyes were wise, and he estimated accurately based on the battles so far. Then, In the end, how many times stronger than you are? Probably about 5 times. Garp felt, very likely, very happy in his heart, 19 years old, so it's not the limit. How far can it grow? He is about 5 times stronger than himself, so it's hard to say who will win this battle. At this time, Im's face was ugly. One blow didn't hurt him. It seems that Uranus has to be controlled to attack more vigorously. Even if he can't use it for a while later, it's okay, just kill him. Seeing Lupu hit another punch, Im controlled Uranus, and another attack quickly condensed and fell. The 16 emission lines are still condensed, falling in the form of a blue beam of light. Boom. Terrifying forces collided, roared, the space was turbulent, and shock waves swept from midair. Wherever it goes, the atmosphere is shattered. Even, the shock wave spread to 10 kilometers away in the form of ripples visible to the naked eye, and the moment it touched the mountain peak, the mountain collapsed directly. Advertisement. Boom boom boom. Mountains continued to crumble and collapse, only because of the aftermath, and the aftermath had spread for hundreds of thousands of meters. It can be seen how terrifying. Everyone in Logue Town was lucky to see it. Fortunately, it exploded in midair. If it was on the ground, Logue Town and them would have been destroyed countless times. After the roar, the Bafi ray was defeated, and Lupu's fist power also dissipated, and the rest of the force scattered a lot of the clouds in the sky, but Uranus was still not seen, obviously hidden higher. The announcer's voice resounded. After the first collision, Uranus launched 2 attacks, each of which was a condensed attack of 10 six-paths rays. Lupu blasted out 2 punches, defeating Uranus's attack. Lupu was unscathed. He looked calm and relaxed. See less than Uranus, it's not clear whether Uranus caused a major depletion. The world shook. Too strong, in the flesh of a man, to shake Uranus, to shake the gods. In the eyes of everyone in the world, Uranus is the strongest, like a god. After all, it is located in the sky, and the attack from the sky is like divine punishment. Combined with Im, it looks like a god. However, Lupu, a god-level powerhouse, can completely compete. Everyone in the world is looking forward to it. Lupu completely crushed the 2 Marine Admirals, so what will happen to this Uranus? Hard to say. I just don't know what kind of limit Uranus has, and I don't know where Lupu's limit is. Excellent. Everyone in the world, including the strong, is paying attention. Long looked at the sky and said to himself, take this opportunity to see how strong Uranus is when he hits Im, and see how big the difference in strength is if he wants to overthrow the world government. Ace believes. Elder brother will definitely win, even Uranus, elder brother can also defeat, but elder brother will become the king of the world. Naval headquarters. Sengoku felt more and more regretful, and sighed softly, it would be great if Im can agree, it's a pity that Lupu didn't become Marine. Garp breathed a sigh of relief. It seems that such an attack by Uranus would not do any harm to Lupu. Will this be Uranus's strongest attack though? After all, Uranus and Im are too mysterious to know much about. Sengoku felt that it was a pity that Lupu was too strong. If he became Marine, the world would be much more peaceful. Between flowers. Im's face was gloomy. I will consume more Uranus and launch a stronger attack, and I must finish you. I am the leader of the world, and I am also a god, and I will definitely punish you. Im clenching his fists to control Uranus from the air. Lupu could feel that at extremely high altitudes, more powerful abilities were converging. Long, a strong man like Ace also felt more dangerous in an instant. And the people in Logue Town are already trembling. Very scary, so disturbing. As if God's punishment is coming, I panic subconsciously. Obviously, a more powerful attack from Uranus is about to fall. What will it be like? The voice of the announcer is also resounding. Uranus really has a stronger attack. It's so mysterious and powerful. The current king of the world is really powerful. At this time, Mariajoy. 5 elders is not surprising, after all, they are existences that can make them all surrender. Lord Im combined with Uranus is like a god. For 800 years, the world government has existed for so long, so many revolutions have naturally occurred, but all of them have failed. Among them, there were a few troublesome existences, but Mr. Yim made a move, and they calmed down in an instant. The existence of us doesn't mean that our king is not strong, but very powerful, so strong that some things don't need the king to take action, but Marine and us take the first action. The strongest weapon is in the hands of Lord Im. Let the world know the horror of Uranus while Lupu is eliminated. Even if you can't use it for a long time, as long as you kill Lupu, it's worth it. In the next moment, 32 rays descended and gathered together, and even more terrifying blue rays fell down, destroying the sky and destroying the earth. Once it falls, let alone a country, even several countries will instantly disappear into nothingness. Lupu feels the sky fall. The terrorist attack, interested. Good. So, at this time, naval headquarters. Sengoku was uneasy, suddenly aware of a problem. No, for a long time, I thought that Lupu got your true biography, and he knows all your abilities, including moves. But, his talent is so terrifying, has he realized stronger moves? Question mark quote. With that said, Sengoku looked at Garp. Garp grinned and said nothing. Ha ha ha, I don't know, I will know soon. This made Sengoku's heart sink. As Uranus's strong attack fell, Lupu's right fist golden Haki, conquerors entwined, condensed, and a more terrifying punch. Fist bone, planet impact. A terrifying punch blasted out. Uranus's blow could destroy several kingdoms. And Lupu's punch is like the destructive force caused by a planet hitting the planet. Boom. A terrifying roar erupted, and the aftermath of terror swept across, and everyone heard a roar. Boom. This sound comes from the sky. It seems that the power has hit Uranus. And at this time, between the flowers, Im's complexion changed drastically, his face showed pain, and he groaned in a muffled voice. Well, after a painful grunt, the corner of Im's mouth overflowed with bloodline. Lupu's punch made Im vomit blood. Chapter 059. The sky is broken in a royal fight. Lupu smashed the sky with one punch. At this time, Im's face was extremely ugly, and he was actually injured. This is unprecedented, and it has never happened in 800 years. Although it is Uranus who is being attacked, he will also be affected, which is why he can control Uranus from the air. Uranus belongs to him and is part of his power. Damn it, Uranus will be attacked. Although Uranus's defense is not weak, but in my opinion, defense is not important, because Uranus's attack is too strong. The best defense is attack. No attack can touch Uranus, because it would be crushed by Uranus's terrifying attack, but this guy's punch is so strong. I am shocked, was not expected. Even though Lupu defeated 2 admirals in 4 rounds and was not forced to go all out, Yi didn't underestimate Lupu's strength. I thought that this time, Lupu could be injured in a more powerful attack, but it turned out to be invincible. Uranus is the strongest ancient weapon. The combination of Poseidon and Pluton can hardly compare to Uranus, not to mention the Uranus I control. Can this guy surpass it? If so, then the combination of the 3 major weapons cannot compare to his humanoid form. Weapon. This made Im unbelievable, and even thought it was a pity that Lupu did not become a marine. Im doesn't believe it. It is impossible for a human body to shake the gods and the weapons of gods. Even if you are called a god-level powerhouse, you are not a real god. There is only one god in this world, and that is the king of my world, Im. Monkey D. Lupu, you are very interesting, let's continue to compete. The more you do this, the more deterrent the world government will be if you defeat you, and the existence of this king will be more mysterious and powerful, so that the world will not dare to have dangerous thoughts. Im intends to consume Uranus all at once. Even if there is a war later, Uranus cannot be used, but his combat power is not only the 5 elders, but also the 9 members of the Knights of God. At this time, Logue Town. Long was shocked. Lupu's punch is so strong, it surpasses the more terrifying Uranus attack. Ace's eyes lit up. Brother's strength hasn't really been shown yet, it's too scary. Even after this punch, he's calm and relaxed, it doesn't look like it's wasted, it's too scary. Ace worshipped. Brother is really terrifying. Even though Uranus is terrifying, it is an ancient weapon, but it can't compare to my big brother. In Logue Town, everyone breathed a sigh of relief again, and even knelt down, facing Lupu. Lord Lupu, because you lied. Fist is the strongest ancient weapon Uranus, it's too scary. Uranus's attack is like divine punishment, but Lord Lupu will be a more terrifying god. Lord Lupu's divine fist is more powerful than divine punishment. Huh, great. I thought it was going to be over this time, but I was crushed by Master Lupu's stronger 10 punches. Lord Lupu is mighty. On the news ship, newspapers were printed quickly, and the announcer's voice was resounding. Horrible. This shocked the world, knowing that a new follow-up is coming. Uranus's more terrifying attack is no longer 10 six-paths rays, but 32. Gathering is even more terrifying. However, it was crushed by Lupu's stronger punch, the fist bone planetary impact. And it has the advantage. The aftermath of power rushes to the sky. I heard a deafening noise. Uranus was attacked. The world is no longer shocked, but numb. Horrible. 32 attacks. Concentrated attack. The power is terrifying, but still lost to Lupu's fist. Lupu is really a god, and his fist is a god fist. The terrible weapon is not the Uranus Pluton Poseidon, but the humanoid weapon, Lupu. Dare to have such dangerous thoughts. Dare to be alone. It is really too scary. This is really. Thai pants are spicy. The 4 emperors were all numb with shock. They saw the horror of Uranus, and for the first time, they realized that even they, compared with the real power of the world government, still had a gap. It is impossible for the 4 emperors to overthrow the world government. Only after this battle did we know that the rocks were far from being king in the first place. Garp, Roger does not appear. Rox wants to hit Mariajoy, and will also face this terrifying Uranus. However, although the world government is powerful, it cannot be destroyed if they want to. It is also risky for them, and they will be taken advantage of. What's more, they are safer now, because there is such a terrifying existence as Lupu. Therefore, it can be said that there are 3 pillars standing at the same time. Pirates, world government, Lupu. Although shocking and outrageous, one Lupu represents a camp, but Lupu is like a god. At this point, red hair pirates. Usopp sighed softly. At that time in Windmill Village, if Brother Luffy was there, if he covered Luffy, then the boss's arm would not fall off. Having said that, the cadres felt that it was true that the boss was still needed to protect Luffy at that time, and Luffy's big brother was blown away with one punch and even exploded the king of the sea. Even Lupu at the time, may be better than Shanks. Shanks smiled, didn't care, losing an arm made sense. The Whitebeard pirates. Marco and the others breathed a sigh of relief. Brother Ace, you are truly godlike. Ace is our family, and Lupu is Ace's eldest brother, so it is also a family. Haha, although it's far-fetched, it's an honor to be part of a family with Lupu. In that case, Lupu would be father's son. Obviously it has nothing to do with us, and Lupu can't be Papa's son. I used to think that Lupu was fully qualified, but now I feel that my father is not worthy. Whitebeard also felt the same way. He loves to take in sons, but he can't afford a son like Lupu. At this time, Naval Headquarters. Sengoku's face was ugly. Damn it, I guessed it right. Garp laughed. Ha 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 ha, my grandson Lupu, what a monster, planet impact, really powerful. Sengoku frowned. If you can't defeat Lupu after depleting Uranus's energy, then it's a complete failure. Garp felt relieved. Lupu, come on. Mariajoy. The 5 elders were shocked. They knew the horror of Lord IM and Uranus the most, but they were attacked unexpectedly. Master IM will be all right. It's connected after all. Trust Lord IM. Advertisement. God-level strength does not mean he is a real god. In this world, there is only one real god, Mr. IM. Whether it is strength or noble status. But Lupu is only strong. Among the flowers, Im's eyes were crazy. It seems that the energy of Uranus must be exhausted. Next, continuous bombardment with full power. Lupu, your attack is strong, and your defense is also very strong, but your defense is not as good as your strength. When Uranus's attack falls on you, your human body can't bear it. Uranus is exhausted and can definitely kill you. In the next moment, IM clenched his fists tightly, his aura exploded, and his veins bulged. He controlled Uranus and let Uranus attack with full power. At this time, in the sky above Logue Town, everyone's expression suddenly changed. Because, the extremely high altitude cloud layer spreads, and the behemoth emerges. However, I can't see clearly because of the dazzling blue light. From the ground, it looks like there is a blue sun in the sky. Everyone looked up and was in an uproar. That is, Uranus appeared. Can't see clearly. Compared to suppressing the feeling of danger, Uranus really has to go all out. Master Lupu can resist. Press boat reporters snap shots. Quick, that's Uranus, first time seeing you. It's getting more and more glaring, getting stronger every day. Is there a stronger attack? It's unbelievable. Is this the strength of the current world ruler? No wonder it can rule for 800 years. The power of terror is the most important thing. The announcer's voice resounded. Uranus seems to be going all out. His whole body is blooming with dazzling blue light. Perhaps a more terrifying attack is coming. Can Lupu resist it? Zero looking for flowers. The world was shocked. Uranus is so strong. It turns out that the current ruler is so strong. The Marine is strong, the world government is strong, and there is an unknown powerful combat force. From this point of view, the Revolutionary Army and the 4 emperors can hardly overthrow the world government. Most celestial dragons are so ugly and disgusting, but this world government still exists for 800 years, and this is the reason, absolute strength. It's the end, who wins and who loses. At this time, Long, Ace was staring at the sky, knowing that it was about to end, and this final collision would also be the most intense. At this moment, Lupu clenched his fists tightly, the conqueror's was entangled, and the muscles in his arms swelled. With the exertion of his whole body, the muscles of his whole body were swollen, and in an instant, it seemed to swell in a circle. The whole body is covered with golden haki, conquerors entwined, and a head of black hair is raised under the explosive momentum, and even the golden light from the whole body is shining golden. And the atmosphere around Lupu's body vibrated and swayed because of Lupu's powerful momentum and conquerors. Lupu's double fists, condensed terror power, more powerful fists, more intense attacks. Whoosh whoosh. The rays fall, this time, 64. Concentrating and falling, the power is even more terrifying. 0. Lupu punched his right fist and growled. Fist bone, star impact. Boom. Terrorist forces erupted in the air, bombing instantly, the bombing place, the space was turbulent, and even a few cracks appeared. That's not the usual crackle caused by Whitebeard shock fruit, it's totally different. What shock fruit causes is the fragmentation of the atmosphere, but a real space crack. You can see the darkness in the space through the gap in the crack. The terrorist force swept away, and swept farther, and the ring-shaped shock wave covered 1,000 miles in an instant. This left everyone dumbfounded. Horrible. If it erupts on the ground, the shock wave can destroy hundreds of islands or even more than 10 countries. The aftermath has a radius of thousands of miles. Horrible. At the collision point, there was a sudden bombardment, and everyone looked at the sky, because they were about to know who was stronger. During the bombing, more force hit the sky, and a louder vibration sounded again. Bang. At this time, Im's complexion was painful again, and he was extremely shocked, but Lupu's fist was more powerful. How is it possible? Damn it, but the ultimate victory is not yours. See how much you can punch with this kind of boxing. You can't withstand Uranus's full power attack. This kind of attack will last until Uranus completely exhausts its energy. Uranus, maximum power, world. It seems that this kind of attack spreads and falls all over the world, and it can really destroy the world. Like shock fruit, both have the power to destroy the world. But Uranus was devastated on a greater scale. At this moment, the blood on Lupu's body boiled slightly. It seems that my enemy is stronger than I imagined. The combined combat power of Marine and world government is difficult for me, so it's interesting. Fist bone, continuous star impact. Lupu's fists continued to blast out, no longer shadows of fists all over, but punches alternately, one after another. Terrifying shock waves rushed high into the sky, confronting Uranus's rays. For a while, the roar continued, and circles of terrifying shock waves spread rapidly and continuously. Kacha kacha. As the shock wave spread, the atmosphere collapsed wherever it passed. In an instant, everyone looked at the sky, dumbfounded, and collectively sluggish. The atmosphere cracked like a mirror, cracks appeared, cracked and shattered, spreading across thousands of miles. Looking up, the entire sky was shattered like a mirror. The Emperor is facing the Emperor, the clouds are like ravines, like the sky is cracked. And God to God, it's not the clouds, but the sky really shattered like a mirror, from the ground, the sky shattered. Chapter 060 Lupu One Punch, Im's crown falls. To be precise, it had nothing to do with Uranus's attack to cause the sky shattering, but it was entirely due to Lupu's fist, bombarding the sky. Even, Lupu's fist power was offset by Uranus's attack, but the sky was still broken. The announcer was shocked. Horrible. This shocked the world, and the follow-up came. Uranus went all out, 62 rays kept falling, and the power was even more terrifying. Lupu used a stronger move, Star Impact. Both sides collided and bombed, and the advantage lies in Lupu. Even, the sky shattered, like a mirror, constantly shattered, and even the shattered area spread nearly 1,000 miles. Lupu's fist shattered the sky. Not because of Uranus, even Uranus counteracted a lot of the power of Lupu's punch. In an instant, everyone in the world felt even more shocked from the numbness. Lupu, take advantage. Uranus lost to Lupu. Even, the sky shattered. I know that in the battle at the Emperor level, there are gullies in the clouds, like the sky is broken. But, Lupu caused the sky to break. Even, the mountains and thousands of miles of sky are shattered, unimaginable, really. This made the world unbelievable, because after thinking about the appearance of the sky, the August 1st was terrifying. However, many people believed it, because people in too many places looked up at the sky, and the sky collapsed like a mirror. As for East Blue, you can see it, even if there is no sky above your head, but looking at the sky far away, you can see the sky shattered. Windmill Village. Luffy looked at the distant sky, the sky was broken like a mirror, and his eyes were shining. It was caused by my brother's fist. It's terrifying. Kokoja Village. Nami, Nuauchi Gao's eyes are shining. It was a terrifying, shocking scene. Lord Lupu, you are really a god, and your fists can shatter the sky. Master Lupu, come on. At this time, the four emperors were shocked, and their faces were even ugly. Their attacks can crack the sky. The sky crack in the battle means that the combat power has entered the imperial level, but now, the sky crack caused by their battle is nothing at all, because Lupu's fist caused nearly 1,000 miles of sky to be shattered, the gap is too big. The ant had to admit, Lupu is much more talented than me. Auntie's talent is very strong, and she has a very strong strength at a young age. In the world of pirates, she is definitely considered the top talent. It's a pity that I didn't realize that having a child would be useless, otherwise it would be stronger. At this time, Kaido's face was ugly. He also wanted to fight with Lupu one-on-one, and regain his title of being the strongest in one-on-one and the strongest creature. However, if he was in a one-on-one fight, even if he was fighting alone, it would be unbearable for him to suffer Lupu's terrifying fist, and he would even be severely injured in an instant. Because, it's too scary, the sky is falling apart. Even if you are truly the strongest singled out, the strongest creature must be me. You are stronger, but my vitality must be stronger. Kaido felt it was inevitable. However, that's because Lupu didn't prove his life force, nor could he. Because no one has the strength to prove that it is too difficult to hurt Lupu. The red hair pirates feel more and more that letting Lupu join them is not because they help Lupu, but because they are inspired by Lupu. At this time, the Whitebeard pirates also felt that making Lupu the father's son was not because they sheltered and helped Lupu, but because they would gain Lupu's glory. Because, Lupu is too powerful. Naval headquarters. Sengoku's face was ugly. Could it be, we want to? Thinking of this, Sengoku couldn't imagine, that was too unacceptable. If they fail in this battle, then Marine and the world government will lose face, the impact will be too great, and it will be too dangerous for the future. If you lose, it will be a small loss of face. It will reduce the deterrence of the Marine and world government, and even the deterrence of IM. In the past, not many people dared to have revolutionary ideas, but now, with Lupu when monsters appear, those who hide in the bottom of their hearts will have hope. Because, there is such a horrible existence, such a dangerous idea, to become the new king of the world, and full of strength, because even if the king personally takes action, the real divine punishment will be defeated by Lupu. In that way, the hope of revolution is much greater. If Lupu wins, the impact will be greater than Roger's declaration before his execution, and it is even the last thing the world government wants to see. Just one battle, Lupu will definitely have a greater impact than Roger. Roger started the era of great pirates, and Lupu may start the era of great revolution. Thinking of this, Sengoku's face is extremely ugly, it's too dangerous, it's a blow to Marine and world government, because of it. Sengoku is clear. IM refuses to talk to Lupu, because he thinks that the stronger Lupu is, the better. Defeating Lupu will enhance the deterrence of the world government and make the world more afraid of Uranus and him. Advertisement. Even more awe of the godlike IM, and the impact of defeating Lupu is too good for the world government. Quote. However, I didn't think about it. If Lupu wins, then it's the opposite. For Lupu, it's great. It's not that the stronger Lupu is, the better, but the stronger the power displayed by IM and Uranus, the better. After winning, Lupu's reputation and prestige will be even greater. Originally, he did this to improve his reputation. Defeating 2 admirals in 4 rounds can improve a lot, but IM controlled Uranus to shoot, which actually helped Lupu. Lupu lost this battle, because Lupu was clever and was defeated. But if Lupu wins, it means that IM was clever but was mistaken by cleverness. Sengoku's face was extremely heavy, and he thought it was probably the latter. At this time, Garp listened to Sengoku's analysis and felt better and prouder inside. Lupu, the expectations for you are really too low. I hope you can become a Marine Admiral and become a Marshal in the future. But you actually want to be my top position, you want to be the king of the world. Garp was surprised and thought. Lupu, you are so strong now, then, how old were you when you surpassed me? 16 years old, or 14 years old, or, earlier. Lupu couldn't believe it. At most 14 years old, at most 5 years ago he surpassed me. At this time, Mariajoy. 5 elders looked ugly. Lupu's fist, so strong. Damn Garp, for teaching such a monster. Lupu doesn't teach, and he's an absolute monster. What are you talking about? It's as if Lord I Am will lose, trust Lord I Am. Believe in Uranus, Lord I Am is the real god, Uranus is Lord Im's artifact, Lupu is human after all, and cannot defeat God. At this time, I am hysterical, controlling the outbreak of Uranus's maximum combat power, all energy. The bombardment of such an intensity move must consume a lot of energy on you. As long as one blow can defeat you, it is enough to severely injure you, or even kill you. It is impossible for a human body to withstand such a powerful attack. Quote. Uranus continuously lowered 62 rays of divine punishment to attack, while Lupu blasted out punch by punch, and the roar in the air continued to erupt. Extremely fierce, Lupu blasted his fists upwards, showing no sign of being tired at all, and showing no sign of stopping. At this time, Im's whole body was in pain, because Lupu's boxing power was stronger, and the power continued to spread to Uranus, which was equivalent to hitting himself. Im's face was ugly, because Uranus's energy was almost exhausted. Damn, even if Uranus is used too much, causing me to consume more and become weak for a period of time, I have to kill him. I must not lose. I am the king of the world, a god, how can a god lose to a human? In Im's tone, the White House is empty and proud. Suddenly, Uranus swayed, and Im's face was sweating, and his face turned pale. But Uranus's attack is faster and more powerful. However, even so, still lost to Lupu's fist. Lupu punched fiercely with both fists, Uranus lasted for a while, and the Energy Emperor was exhausted. Feeling the weakening of Uranus's power, Lupu bent his legs, pushed the soles of his feet on the ground, and soared into the sky. Combining speed and strength, Lupu is like a golden streamer, and his fist even explodes into flames, which are produced by friction with the air. The whole body is covered by golden light, and the flames are like gold. Lupu rushed forward, the ray was directly separated by Lupu's fist violently, and Lupu's figure was getting higher and higher. On the ground, the dragon, Ace's eyes were shining, looking at the rising Lupu, like a newly rising golden sun. Lupu let out a low growl, Shenquan impact. Boom. The ray dropped by Uranus was completely defeated, and the terrifying shock wave of Lupu's punch rushed into the sky. In an instant, the earth-shattering sound resounded throughout the world. Boom. This sound of 0.5 vibrations resounded throughout the world, and everyone in the whole world seemed to hear it. Even if it hasn't been broadcast yet, everyone has guessed it. What is this sound? Could it be the sound of Uranus being attacked? The battle is over. The result of this battle is Mariajoy. The 5 elders heard it all, and their hearts sank, worrying about it. Master I Am. At this time, between Im's face seemed to be hit by Lupu's punch. I Am was slapped in the face by Lupu's strength, and it seemed that he was really punched by Lupu. The high-pointed crown was blown away, flew tens of meters away with a whoosh, and fell to the ground with a bang. Like, I am not worthy to be the king of the world, like a new king of the world is about to appear, that is Lupu. Hateful. I am very reconciled, facial pain, but can only control Uranus to disappear, because Uranus can be completely exhausted. I am touched the right cheek, it was very painful, the corner of the mouth was bleeding, looked at the crown that fell in the distance, gritted his teeth, full of anger. This battle was not won by them, but by Lupu. Chapter 061 Ace. This era belongs to my elder brother. Controlling the disappearance of Uranus means that Lupu has won this battle. Im's face was ugly, and one can imagine how much this incident has affected the world government. However, it doesn't have much impact on your own status. After all, he is extremely confident, even so, the ruler is still himself. This victory does not mean that Lupu can become the king of the world. He and other combat powers he has mastered are many, and it is not so easy to overthrow him. However, losing this battle is hard to accept. Im's face was ugly, and he was very angry, but his eyes were shaken. Immediately, contact 5 elders. 5 elders came quickly, knelt down directly, and spoke in awe. Master I Am. You guys, contact Sengoku, contact Lupu, you can talk to him, if you are willing to become a marine, you can get rid of the crime. He is very powerful, and it is worthy of us, even if the world will laugh at us, but, to have such a combat power, totally worth it. 5 elders was taken aback, then nodded immediately to express his understanding. Quickly, contact Sengoku and have this piece explained. After the persuasion of our 5 elders, we finally succeeded in persuading Lord I Am. Sengoku, Lord I Am cherishes talents. This Lupu is indeed worth our loss. Even if he is ridiculed by the world, we must keep him as a talent and have a talk with him. Talk. Hearing this, Sengoku was overjoyed. Good. Hanging up the phone bug, Sengoku was agitated, and I Am Sama gave in. Great, you can talk to Lupu, as long as you talk, there is hope. However, Garp laughed in his heart and scolded. Humph, it looks shameful on the surface. I am the king of the world, how can he care about the opinions of the world when he does things? I asked I am to agree before, but he refused. Now I can't beat him, so I just say that. I don't see what 5 elders is persuading, it's because he has no face, so let's say that. I am can be said to be slapped in the face by Lupu. It's good to have agreed earlier, now. Garp felt that it was basically useless. Although he didn't know Lupu's strength very well, he knew Lupu's character. Sengoku hurriedly said. Garp, not only I have to say, but you also have to persuade. Garp heard it and looked up. HMPH, just now I wanted to kill Lupu 17, but even I am took a shot, and I lost control of Uranus. Why didn't I agree with it before? This embarrasses Sengoku, who knows Garp's displeasure. Sengoku went straight to Garp, wanting to kneel down to Garp. Persuasion by myself is definitely not as good as Garp's persuasion. I hope that it can be bigger. If Marine can get such a terrifying combat power, it will be a huge blow to the pirates. Sengoku said. Garp, if your grandson Lupu can join, the world will be much more peaceful. He is too strong. Garp, you can persuade him. I believe no one wants Lupu to become a Marine more than you. Even now, I think so too. HMPH, I can't help it. Garp ignored it. Sengoku wanted to kneel down and beg Garp for permission. Garp, just persuade me, do you really want me to kneel down and beg you? Sengoku looked outside, as long as there were no sailors, maybe he would really kneel down. Garp, Lupu joining Marine, is that what you want most? Although Lupu is very strong and won this battle, you also know that he is dangerous. His strength is far from being able to fight against Marine and the world government. What he defeated was not the entire Marine and the world government. The Marine and the world government still have too many powerful forces. You should understand that what he defeated was only the tip of the iceberg. Therefore, for the good of both parties, otherwise, Lupu will be really dangerous one day sooner or later. Garp's face was ugly, and he naturally hoped that Lupu would be a Marine, even though Lupu was very strong. However, the strength of world government and Marine is not so simple. Lupu is so strong, there is only hope, but now he is still a person, and it is very difficult to really overthrow him. Garp nodded. Okay, but you have to be more sincere, otherwise Lu won't agree. I see. Sengoku was tense, even expectant, excited. He immediately contacted the Marine news ship off Logue Town. At this time, the voice of the announcer resounded. Uranus seemed to disappear, and in the end, it was Lupu who won. Lupu, the god-level powerhouse, defeated the real god. And Lupu seems to have nothing to consume. It's horrible. In an instant, the world was in an uproar, and it was over. Lupu won, and even won by a big advantage. Horrible. It's all like a dream. 4 rounds defeated Admiral, and it was a disastrous defeat. If Uranus hadn't shot, both admirals would have died. Even Uranus was defeated by Lupu, and Lupu had the upper hand. Uranus must have paid a great price, and Lupu did not. It's really terrifying. It's so terrifying that in such a battle, Lupu is unscathed and has nothing to consume. After this battle, Lupu's reputation resounded all over the world, and the rewards skyrocketed. How much will it skyrocket? It is bound to break the record, as for how much, I don't know. At first, I thought that Lupu would die, but this is the process and ending. Lupu did this because of his absolute confidence in his strength. This time, Marine and world government, it's too shameful. It's good to have such an existence, so the world government will be better for people, right? Better welfare. Yes, if it continues like that, then some of the people will definitely be shaken. That's why one family can't dominate. Many spiritual domains are like this. It's not good for one family to dominate. Yeah, one family dominates, and this family has the final say. Just like the bookstores I love to read and the games I love to play, if there is only one family and it dominates, it will not be good. If you think that there is only one family, you can only endure it, but if there are other good ones, it is a good thing. The most important thing about this battle is the impact on the world government and Marine. The impact will be great, and Lupu will gain the favor of many people, especially those whose country is in crisis. See if the world government will give better benefits, and reduce the amount of some heavenly gold. The whole world is discussing that this battle, Lupu shocked the world. Everyone thinks this is a good thing. Not only civilians, but pirates also think it is a good thing. After all, the world government and Marine have a terrifying opponent. Even if it is one person, it is a headache for the world government and Marine. Even, the degree of headache is equivalent to the sum of 2 royal groups. Great, Marine and world government have such a terrifying enemy. Being a pirate is even better. Lupu alone is equivalent to 2 royal groups. I think 3. 3 are missing, the 4 emperors together is equivalent to 1 Lupu. However, to do truly evil things is also possible to become Lupu's enemy. Yeah, he attacked pirates and Marines, and he is evil, no matter which faction it is, he will move the people. Avoid it, at least not in his territory. After this war, whoever dares to cause trouble in his territory will be courting death. The 4 emperors were amazed. Red hair pirates. Advertisement. If we are facing this battle, if we want to win, we will lose at most. As for Lupu, who was unscathed, if we were singled out, wouldn't it be possible for one person to defeat us? Too strong. The Whitebeard pirates. Great, win. Quote. We, the Whitebeard pirates, will face it, and it will be very difficult to win. It's not difficult. Uranus is very strong, but Dad's shock fruit is definitely not inferior to Uranus. Dad, deal with Uranus. Our Whitebeard pirates have so much strength to fight Akainu and Kizaru, it's enough. Windmill Village. Luffy was happy. Great, brother won. I knew, brother would win. Luffy's face is full of pride. Brother is really strong. Makino is also completely relieved. Although Lupu's idea is very dangerous, but he is so strong, he believes that it can be done in the future. Kokoja Village. Nami and Nuo Chigao looked at each other and smiled. Great, Lord Lupu won. Also, with such a godlike power as Master Lupu, he will definitely be able to overcome all dangers in the future. It will be very difficult. We will wait for Master Lupu. When we meet again, we will feed Master Lupu below. Yeah, let's work hard. Let Lupu-sama eat it together, and let Lupu-sama evaluate it. Nami, you eat better, or I eat it better. It must be me. Master Lupu must prefer to eat me. HMPH, not necessarily. At this moment, Long sighed lightly. It seems that I can leave. There is no need to help Lupu in this battle. Even Lupu won with an advantage. After the words fell, the dragon was ready to leave. Ace worships and believes. This era belongs to my elder brother. Just then, Marine's news boat rang. Monkey D. Lupu, Marshal Marine, wants to talk to you. At this time, some broadcasters heard it and immediately started broadcasting around the world. This made the world curious. At this time, what does Marshal Marine want to say? Speak harshly. Inevitably, speak harshly to save some face. Be quiet and listen. The world fell silent, even the four emperors were curious. Long did not leave directly, but also curious. A voice rang out, the voice of the phone bug, amplified through the speaker, and the voice of Sengoku rang out. Monkey D. Lupu, First and Marine Marshal, Sengoku. For a moment, Lobe Town, and even the world, were astonished, because Sengoku's tone was very polite. Why? Very polite feeling, my delusion. It's not an illusion, it's just very polite. Finally, you don't have to wait anymore, you can hear it in real time. Lupu said lightly. Say something quickly. Although Lupu is like this, Sengoku is still soft-spoken. Then I won't beat around the bush, I want to talk to you. You are so powerful that the world needs you, you should be on the right path. Lupu nodded. Well, the world really needs me, and I'm on the right path to become the king of the world. At this time, among the flowers, was naturally listening too, with an ugly face and clenched fists. Sengoku is still polite. Lupu, the path you are taking now is wrong. Even if you win this battle, what you have defeated is only the tip of the iceberg of Marine and world government. Marine and world government still have too many powerful forces to show, even unknown to you, so, you're. Needless to say, I understand, if that's the case, you can hang up. Lupu didn't want to hear it anymore, and guessed it. The people of the world also understood instantly. 570. This is to persuade Lupu not to be an enemy of Marine and world government. Do you want to recruit? Obviously, Lupu guessed it, so the interest in talking is gone. Sengoku hurriedly said, listen to me, it's dangerous for you to go on like this, becoming a Marine can absolve you of all crimes. Cancel the bounty wanted on you, become Marine, and Admiral can be. You have to go the right way, you have justice in your heart, and Marine is justice, join in, your grandpa hopes to. Quote. Lupu was impatient. Stop talking nonsense, I won and started talking like that. Sengoku said. This is what we have always thought, including your grandfather. Wong knows your strength and thinks it is a pity that you have taken the wrong path. Even if it is such a crime, choose to forgive. Don't miss this opportunity. At this time, the pirates in the world, and even the four emperors are panicking. Kaido, Big Mom, Redhead, Whitebeard, and all the four emperors. They naturally don't want Lupu to become a Marine, because it's too scary. Don't be a Marine. That way, Marine and world government are too strong. Joining one person will greatly increase their combat power. It's very bad for pirates, including the four emperors group. If Lupu becomes a Marine, he might be able to chase the four emperors all over the world. Once, Lupu's grandfather, the Marine hero Garp, chased Roger all over the world. If Lupu became a Marine, it would definitely be more terrifying. It is absolutely possible to chase the four emperors all over the world. At this time, the four emperors all agreed. Whitebeard rejoiced. Fortunately, Lupu was born late. If he and Garp were brothers, then he would definitely have chased after me, Roger, Golden Lion, running around the world, even including Rocks and the Red Earl. At this moment, Lupu smiled. Shikai, forgive me and give me a chance. I'm afraid that after defeating Admiral, you tried to persuade me to persuade you, but your king refused. He controlled Uranus and wanted to kill me to make an example of others and increase the deterrence of the world government, which made him more respected by others, but he was slapped in the face, so he changed his words after the end. It should be like this. Lupu sneered. King of the world, am I right? You should be listening right now, does your face hurt? Between flowers. M flew into a rage. *hole. Being exposed by Lupu made IM very angry, and his face was extremely ugly. Damn it, if you don't take advantage of this opportunity, you will regret it later. At this time, everyone in the world felt that this might be the case. In this way, the current king of the world government would be even more ashamed. At this point, the four emperors are all relieved, as long as Lupu is not a Marine. Chapter 062 Garp persuades Lupu to be a Marine, and the four emperors panic. Not only did he refuse, but he also made himself even more ashamed, which made Im clenched his fists and was extremely angry. Even, want to tell Sengoku, don't persuade. But, calm down, this kind of combat power is too strong, it is the best to be a Marine, although you are not afraid of becoming an enemy, but first see if you can become a Marine. Rejected by Lupu, who didn't even want to talk about it, Sengoku said solemnly. Lupu, as long as you are willing to become a Marine, your rights will be very great, which is authorized by the king. The path you are going to take now, why you are going to take it, is undoubtedly because you feel that the current world is not good enough, and you want to become better. Good. But, you don't need to take this dangerous path and become a Marine, it's fine. Because, your rights will be very high, and you will try your best to do what you propose. It is possible to change what you want, and even your rights will be under one person, among celestial dragons and even 5 elders above, everything is possible. This will clarify our sincerity. I really don't want to miss a talent like you, and let you go on the wrong path. You have a more correct path to choose, a better method, and if you join, you don't need to cause turmoil. To make the world a better place, if you insist on going your own way, it will not only be dangerous, but will inevitably cause turmoil, making the world more dangerous. After all, the people who suffer the most in war are the civilians. So, join Marine and choose the more correct old path. You don't have to worry that these promises are all fake. I promise in the name of the Marshal that they are all true. You can talk to your grandpa. After speaking, Sengoku relaxed a little, thinking that there was a turning point. Because, since he wants to overthrow the rule, he naturally has a lot of dissatisfaction, has experienced a lot, and has seen the shortcomings of the world. Then, I will give you the right to point out and correct what you are dissatisfied with. And in this way, the world will be better, and there is no need to take the dangerous path, against the world government and Marine. Sengoku thinks that Lupu will hesitate. But at this time, because of the shock, after so many years, he is the clearest, the arrogance of the people above, it is impossible to have these thoughts. Some celestial dragons are still so disgusting, they regard human life as nothing, too many problems, and they won't care about them. Even if their revolutionary army has worked so hard for so long, the world government will not realize anything. The only thing they want to do is to destroy them. However, the appearance of Lupu alone made the world government choose to compromise, which is unprecedented. After all, the entire revolutionary army failed to do so. After all, Lupu was too strong, so strong that even the world government had to compromise, and Im had to make concessions and show sincerity. At this time, the dragon is a little worried, no matter whether it is true or not, the world government is wise, perhaps, it is very likely to be true, then. First, let Lupu think about it, and let the world choose more. The world will definitely want to let Lupu join, because it is what the common people want to get better without going through turmoil. Therefore, how Lupu will choose, the dragon is a little uncertain, because the heart is a little liar. Of course, if Lupu chooses to become Marine, he has no objection, and will not try to persuade and obstruct, and respect Lupu's choice. Lupu, Luffy, whether they are Marines or pirates, they will not interfere. At this time, the world was shaken, and the common people were all happy. So amazing. Forcing the world government to make concessions. The previous world was indeed not so perfect, and too many people lived in suffering. It's not that I don't work hard, but that there are many external factors and too many flaws. In the past, one family was dominant, so I dare not say it, but the emergence of Lupu broke the monopoly, which is really good, and made them want to step back and make some changes. It's much better to give Lupu great power to join Marine. In this way, it will not be resolved through turmoil, and we can live better. It's better for us to opt in, Lord Lupu, opt into Marine. Yes, what the people want. Don't be too naive, who can't paint cakes, what if you violate it after joining? Don't dare to violate it, after all Lupu is so strong. It is said so, but when it is changed, there will definitely be some people who oppose it. It's useless to object, it seems to be the king's intention, so who dares to object? All of a sudden, the world is leaning toward Lupu joining Marine. At this moment, Sengoku thought it was possible. Such rhetoric will not only make Lupu think about it, but more importantly, it will make people in the world feel that this is indeed the best, and that it can become better without going through turmoil. Between flowers, Im intends to make some concessions, knowing that Lupu is willing to become Marine. Mainly because, Lupu is very strong. At this time, these things will naturally not spread in Mariajoy, because the celestial dragons will resist. After all, in their eyes, no matter how strong they are, as long as they are not celestial dragons, they are all ants and pariahs, so how can they compromise? Although Im can frighten them with a word, these things will not let celestial dragons pay attention. 5 elders discussed. Master Im has made a great concession that is unprecedented. 41. Will Lupu join? It's possible. In that case, it's a good thing for us, it will become our combat power, and the life of pirates will be even more difficult. He has been given the right to choose, and most people in the world think this is better. If he refuses, it will cause dissatisfaction. Even if he dare not say it, he still has it in his heart. He wants to give people hope in this battle. He's hopeful, and if he says no, then it's going to take some of the weight out of his fight. Master Im, you are really wise. With Garp's persuasion, I believe it is possible. World government. Marine thinks it is possible, and most people in the world think it is better, looking forward to better policy implementation instead of oppression, looking forward to better and better days. Lord Lupu, think about it. We can talk, compromise with each other. Peaceful coexistence. In that case, Master Lupu is the savior. You don't need to go through turmoil to make the world a better place. As long as Lord Lupu gets a lot of power, you can. So, join in. Most people in the world are praying. At this time, the pirate began to panic, because he was uneasy. Don't join in. Such a terrifying existence. If you join, then life force pirates will be difficult, and the combat power of the world government and marine will be greatly improved. Having seen the horrors of Lupu, I don't want him to be a marine at all. However, Marine has offered an olive branch, which is unprecedented, and maybe it will really be considered. Even, let Garp come to lobby, give sweets first, and then play the family card. Garp would definitely like Lupu to be Marine, too. This is troublesome. Asterisk 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 asterisk. For a moment, the pirates on the sea began to panic, their emotions were only due to Lupu's decision alone. It is conceivable how important Lupu is to the world now, one person can cause panic among pirates or marines. Marine is eager to join. Must join. Lupu is also righteous. If he went the wrong way, there is still time to turn around. Be a marine like Vice Admiral Garp. At this point, even the 4 emperors are lying. IWC. Everyone in the Big Mom pirates panicked. Don't join in. Too strong. If you join as a marine, I'm afraid that sending Lupu alone will destroy all nations. Although I don't want to admit it, it may be possible. Whether it is possible or not, becoming a marine is definitely not good for us. The world government and marine will be stronger. At this time, even the ant's face was heavy, and her heart was even nervous. The ant was annoyed. Damn it, I even get nervous and panic subconsciously. As an ant of the 4 emperors, she is not afraid of anything, but at this time, she is also afraid that Lupu will become a marine. It's a shame, but as 4 emperors, I'm afraid of becoming a marine alone. I never thought that a person's choice would make her like this, and only Lupu can do it. After all, she is too strong. Boy, don't be a marine. At this time, Ghost Island. Kaido was also subconsciously nervous in his heart, which made him unacceptable. Advertisement. Damn it, I'm actually subconsciously nervous, and I, Kaido, still have fear. No, I shouldn't be nervous. I don't care if he becomes marine or not, he can choose whatever he wants. Even though he said that, Kaido frowned, against his will. It's better not to be a marine, no one would be foolish to think of such a strong enemy. Kaido changed his words to sound better. It seems that it is not fear, but reason. At this time, Jin and Quinn's expressions were also heavy. I hope first don't become marine, it's too powerful. To deal with Admiral is a few punches, so to deal with our 3 disasters, I am afraid it will be one punch. However, Jack said in a deep voice. HMPH, what are you afraid of? Believe in Master Kaido, so what if you become a marine, we can't be afraid. Jin reminded. Jack, that's too reckless. Could it be that if Lupu becomes a marine, you'll come closer and try after seeing it? Of course, no matter who I am, when I encounter an enemy, no matter who it is, I will draw the boat over and will not escape. Jin and Quinn are helpless. This idiot, with so many titles in the world, can make Jack the king of ships. At this point, red hair pirates. They are also heavy. I hope I don't become a marine. Although we have friendship with Luffy, even Luffy's elder brother will be an enemy if he becomes marine. Too strong. Becoming a marine is definitely a pirate's nightmare. The Cadres panicked. Even Shanks has a heavy heart, thinking not to be marine. The Whitebeard pirates. Marco and the other captains discussed. Brother Ace, will you become a marine? Not necessarily. It is possible that the world government has made concessions like this. Exemption from all crimes, and may also be given the rights of one person, even if not necessarily, the rights must be invincible, and even really listen to Lupu's opinions. And, most of the world expects it. Lupu doesn't become marine. I heard Ace said, I don't like it, but if it becomes so that Lupu doesn't like it so much, then maybe. In that case, it would be too troublesome. Even Whitebeard was frowning. Garp's powerful, he knew it well. However, if Lupu, who is much stronger than Garp, becomes a marine, it will be very dangerous for pirates. Even in the previous era, there were legends such as himself, Golden Lion, Roger, Red Earl, Rocks, etc., and they definitely didn't want Lupu to become a marine. For a time, this choice attracted the attention of the world, the civilians looked forward to it, and the pirates and even the 4 emperors panicked. Windmill Village. Luffy isn't sure either, but even if he becomes a marine, he still respects his brother's choice. Quote. Grandpa will be very happy to become a marine, but will my brother become a marine? At this time, the village chief said, in this case, it is good to be a marine, to make the world a better place, surpass Marine's hero Garp, and become a new and more powerful hero. Logue Town, on the sea. Ace doesn't want his eldest brother to become a marine. Even if he is given the right, the path chosen by his eldest brother is definitely more free. However, Ace won't say anything, and believes in his elder brother's decision. Lupu, it's me. Garp's voice sounded. This makes Marine look forward to it. Vice Admiral Garp, Lupu's grandpa. With Vice Admiral Garp lobbying, it's more likely. It must be successful. It's great that Marine can get such a strong combat power. As Garp's voice sounded, Marine was overjoyed, but the pirates, including the 4 emperors, felt nervous. Lupu greeted. Grandpa, Lupu, you kid, you are hiding really deep. You are even stronger than Grandpa, so much stronger. I am afraid that if you are Grandpa, I will fight with all my strength, and you will fall completely within 20 rounds. Unable to stand up again. Quote. Lupu said. Grandpa, don't talk nonsense, how could it be? Lupu, don't be humble. In this battle, the world has seen your horror. You are a monster. It is far more monster than I imagined. It is really wonderful. You are worthy of being my grandson, too. Make Grandpa proud. But, if first can become Marine, Grandpa, I can wake up from my dreams with a smile. Quote. Garp's tone became serious. Lupu, you can consider it, Grandpa, I promise, the promise of the world government will be fulfilled. Become Marine, you and my grandson, make the world better, what you don't like, Marine and the world. The world government will make corrections, which is really amazing. Grandpa, I also have a lot of things I don't like, but even I can't do anything about it, but Lupu, you can do this, promise, become high. If you don't like it, just become a Marine and make the system and the world better instead of choosing that path. Quote. Garp is full of anticipation. Lupu, I am looking forward to that scene, the scene of you and my grandson fighting side by side, invincible. Speaking of this, Garp said that Marine is also a fantasy, so intimidating, the sense of oppression is too strong. The pirate also couldn't help but tremble subconsciously. The money paid, even the 4 emperors are frowning. In that case, they are indeed invincible. Garp yelled. Lupu, become a Marine. Then be given the power to be under one man and make the world and Marine, world government better. You know best, how Grandpa is. I really want you to be a Marine, so I must promise Grandpa, if the Marine and world government are not good, you can change them. Taking a deep breath, Garp tensed, asking. Then, Lupu, give your answer. For a moment, the heartbeats of everyone in the world accelerated. To give an answer. Be a Marine. Don't go that way. Pirates. Don't be a Marine. If first were a Marine, I wouldn't be a pirate at all. Me too. Lupu is horrible. A few punches for Admiral, don't talk about us. Absolutely one-shot a supernova, let alone us. At the same time, the 4 emperors became more nervous, and the 4 emperors and even the 4 emperors group were silent, waiting for Lupu's answer. While waiting, every second is full of torment, apprehension, and panic. At this moment, Lupu spoke, and answered seriously. Grandpa, after answering this time, there is no need to ask any more. This question will end. Now, I will give the answer. 17. For a time, the world was silent. Sengoku, expectant, nervous, clenched his fists, shouting in his heart, you must agree. Garp as well. Be a Marine. For the 4 emperors, their hearts beat faster, they were in a panic, and they had to make a decision. Lupu beat it word by word. My choice is. In an instant, the hearts of the 4 emperors rose to their throats, and even their faces were covered with sweat. It never occurred to me that if a person chooses to become a Marine or not, only Lupu can make the 4 emperors so nervous and flustered. Ace stared closely. Brother. Windmill Village. Luffy listened quietly. Immediately, Lupu's voice resounded throughout the world. I'm going to be the king of the world. Chapter 063. Hearing this answer, all the pirates all over the world, including the 4 emperors, breathed a sigh of relief. As for Marine, his heart sank. Sengoku's face was heavy, and this answer was obviously rejected. Between the flowers, I.M. clenched his fists tightly, making cracking noises, and then snorted coldly. Stupid decision, toasting and not eating or drinking fine wine, giving you a chance to live, but choosing the path of certain death, idiot. Don't accept God's gift, prepare to regret it. 7 inches. I.M. was so angry that he laughed back. In his opinion, Lupu is courting death. I also feel that this is a gift from God. After all, it allows me to make such a big step back, and even gives Lupu some power, not only to become a Marine Admiral, but to set higher rights like 5 elders. Comparable to the 5 elders, the Knights of the Gods, and even below only himself. It was ridiculous for I.M. to refuse such a great status and right. The 5 elders were also angry. HMPH, I actually refused. It's really courting death to get such a big right, but to refuse it. Let him regret it later. Do you really think you can do it? Greedy, you are the king of the world, don't think that there is hope in this way, it is still far away, the power of the world government is beyond your imagination. At this moment, the whole world was shaken. Civilians lost. Refused. It's good to agree. Let's see what Lupu has to say. It doesn't matter if you disagree, if the Marine and world government don't make good policies that benefit the country and the people, then there are still many people who will have hope for Lupu, but the threat of Lupu may change. Even if there is no change, there is still hope like Lupu. I used to think it was courting death, but now with such a strong strength, maybe it is really possible. Lord Lupu, come on. The sea, all seas were relieved. Great, declined. Well done Master Lupu. Quote, it should be rejected. If first become a Marine, then I won't be a pirate. Actually, it doesn't matter. After all, 623 Lupu is dealing with real evil. So, most pirates are also very afraid of Lupu. Most of the pirates, as well as the Marine and world government are his enemies, and he is only one. It's too powerful, one person is fine, and there will definitely be more and more territory and powerful forces in the future. After all, it's only been about 2 months since I went to sea. It's best not to become a Marine. If you become a Marine, the only enemies are us pirates. Life is too sad. At this moment, the 4 emperors were all relieved. Phew, if you don't become a Marine, you have to become the king of the world. It's a good choice. The king of the world is good. Joining the Marine, even if you have extremely high strength, you are still inferior to others. Even if you are only inferior to one person, it is not something you can accept. Ant was not surprised, she didn't panic at all, she was still panicked just now. Cracker. Great, don't join Marine, and we have to pay attention in the future, we can't become enemies with Lupu. Katakuri. I rejected such conditions, and I have a lot of courage. Ghost Island. Jin and Quinn both heaved a sigh of relief. Not being a Marine, that's great. Even if it is us, life will be difficult. In the future, we must avoid conflicts with Lupu. Jack couldn't take it anymore. HMPH. Avoid. Let Master Kaido also avoid it. It seems that Master Kaido is really inferior to Lupu. In my heart, Master Kaido is invincible. Jin reminded. The most important thing to pay attention to is you. When we meet in the future, we should not provoke you. If there is no conflict, of course I wouldn't be foolish enough to provoke him, but if I let him publicly teach the titles of being the strongest and strongest creature, if he doesn't hand in the title, I'll just sail over to meet him. This made Jin and Quinn feel helpless, they really rely on the ship king, they are really reckless. At this time, Kaido reminded in a deep voice. Don't be reckless, try not to have conflicts, it's not that I'm afraid of him, I'm not afraid of Kaido, BHFJ, the main reason is that our goal has not been completed, we will talk about it after we win Wano Kuni. Kaido looked a little embarrassed when he said this. Jack nodded. Understood, Master Kaido. All red hair pirates also breathed a sigh of relief. Great, not to be Marine. Luffy is going to be the One Piece, and Lupu is going to be the king of the world, they are indeed 2 brothers. It's a good thing to refuse, after all, I don't know how many rights I really have when I join. It will definitely still be restricted. The red hair felt relieved, so that when he went to Raftel in the future, he would have hope. When Lupu is a Marine, even if he is himself, he feels hopeless. The Whitebeard pirates. Good choice. It won't be a rival camp with Ace. Even if it is under one person, it will be restricted. Brother Ace, you are so courageous. Whitebeard smiled. Hoo la la la, I really appreciate him more and more. It's a pity that I can't accept him as my son. I am not qualified at all. Even the captains have to admit it. In terms of strength, no one can surpass Lupu. But if it's family, it's still okay. Yeah, Dad is the most competent dad. Windmill Village. Luffy smiled carefully, such a choice is naturally better, and Luffy hopes more. Brother, you must succeed. Makino, Nami, and Nuo Chigao also believed it. Logue Town on the sea. Long breathed a sigh of relief, such a choice is indeed better. Advertisement. Ace worshipped. As expected of my elder brother, I refused. Even under one person, my elder brother can't end it. My elder brother should stand at the top of the world and become the king of the world. I believe my elder brother will definitely be able to do it. At this time, the announcer does not need to broadcast, because the whole world is listening. Naval Headquarters. Sengoku's face darkened, his fists clenched, and he refused without hesitation. Sengoku tried to persuade, but found Garp ready to hang up. Garp also felt regretful in his heart, which is a pity, but Lupu was so determined that even if he gave such a right, he still refused, so it will be impossible in the future. So, Garp gave up completely. Garp, don't hang up, keep persuading. Sengoku didn't want to give up, after all, he was too strong, so he joined Marine, because it was good. Lupu joining Marine is at least equivalent to 10 more admirals in Marine. Even an admiral as strong as Akainu, who can refuse this? Garp shook his head. Impossible, Sengoku, you also heard, Lupu's determination, the last answer. Sengoku looked ugly, took the phone and said, think about it, it's dangerous for you to do this, and you can't achieve what you want. Because you can't succeed, and becoming a Marine can easily achieve it. The rights given to you are definitely high enough. You won't talk empty words, and you won't limit you. Lupu smiled. As long as you are under others, it is impossible not to be restricted. Even if you are under one person, I can't accept it. I won't submit to anyone. In addition, give extremely high rights. Listen to me, HMPH, my idea is very bold, it is impossible, I can imagine that at that time, many decisions will be strongly resisted, or even rejected. Joining Marine, gaining great power, can't do what I want, so, I want to be king of the world. Sengoku's heart moved. You can speak boldly. What do you want to do and make changes? Lupu nodded. Okay, let's say 2, if it can be done, I will consider it. In an instant, this made the hearts of the pirates in the world tense, and the 4 emperors panicked again. Pirates are bitter. Stop saying that, I have ups and downs inside. My heart can't handle this. Don't give Marine hope. No. Don't panic, maybe the Marine and world government can't do it at all. At this moment, Sengoku's eyes lit up, and Pooh did the same. Sengoku immediately said, tell me about it. Lupu said bluntly. First of all, I don't like the celestial dragons. Even if there are some that make me feel that I have seen them, most of them are disgusting to me. They are the ones who really do all kinds of evil and regard human life as nothing. The person watching wants to give a slap in the face. If I can make most of the celestial dragons, who I feel disgusted, demoted to slaves, go to some hard places to do hard work until they die, and use a little bit of their physical strength, I will still consider it. Hearing this, Sengoku's face suddenly changed. Garp's inner hope was completely gone, because it was impossible. Sengoku said in a low voice, impossible. No need to ask 5 elders, he knows it's impossible. Make most of the celestial dragons slaves and go to the hardest places to work as coolies. This is impossible. Celestial dragons are the descendants of the Creator. If they lose a hair, they will be furious, and many people will suffer. They will become slaves and work as coolies until they die. How is it possible? Marine discussion. That's bold. This idea is outrageous. Impossible. It's really dangerous. At this time, many people in the world are happy. This idea is really good. Excited to see. But, impossible. Yeah, definitely would not agree, even if Lupu is horrible, world government will not do it. However, we also don't like celestial dragons, and we are unhappy, but we dare not speak out. Yeah, the gods did wrong things and enslaved us, as if it should be, how dare you have an opinion? Lupu is the real justice. Marine and world government claim to be righteous, but the people above them are extremely disgusting. Support Lord Lupu. At this moment, all the pirates were relieved, including the 4 emperors. Great, it's impossible to join. What a bold idea. I adore Lupu even more. Curious about the second, the first is just so outrageous. At this moment, the 4 emperors were completely relieved. The ant smiled and said, is it? It's a good idea, it makes me like this kid a little bit. The ant's son and daughter were also shocked, no one dared to think like this, only Lupu dared. Kaido also thinks this idea is powerful, and he is also unhappy with celestial dragons. But, turning celestial dragons into slaves, doing the hard work, is beyond thinking. Red hair pirates. Ha ha ha, Luffy's brother, you really have an idea. I want to know Luffy's brother more and more. Let me all worship. The Whitebeard pirates. Whitebeard is more and more appreciative. Bold ideas, more and more appreciative of him. As expected of Ace's big brother. Logue Town. Ace's eyes lit up. Big brother is big brother. Beasta said. Ace, I adore your big brother. Ace grinned, how? Long became more and more proud and relieved that he was worthy of being his own son. Sengoku said in a deep voice. Impossible, it's best to put away such thoughts. Sengoku also gave up completely. Lupu sarcastically. I can't bear it like this. I haven't said the second one yet, isn't it even more desperate? The second one is, I am giving me the throne and being my subordinate, I also fully consider it. Sengoku was furious. Presumptuous. 5 elders also stood up very fast, too bold. When I am heard this sentence, he was immediately furious, even he couldn't calm down, and attacked the surroundings to vent his anger. Courting death. Dreaming. Chapter 064 Lupu offers a bounty, 30 billion Baileys. Sengoku's face was ugly, and all the requests he made were impossible. Although Sengoku wanted Lupu to become a marine, he knew that it was impossible. Sengoku reminded. Lupu, you will regret it. You were given the opportunity to choose a better path, but you chose the wrong one. Although you won this battle and showed your strength to the world, you are still far from opponents of marine and world government. We will do our best to hinder you, and it is impossible for you to grow stronger. In addition, your territory, even the country of asylum, must still be handed over to the heavenly gold, and it is impossible to really leave. If you leave, then it is not the turn of Buster Call, the world government, or even the king, and they will take action. In the past, it was written that the country wanted to revolutionize and get rid of it, but in the end, it disappeared. Therefore, the island and even the country protected by Lupu must always keep the bottom line. It would be better if Lupu's flag was removed. Marine and world government will choose to forgive and will protect you as well. Now openly say to the world, so since it failed, it has to remind the world, especially those who have hope for Lupu. Just let Lupu continue to be strong alone, but he can't attract more territory and influence. If the strength is strong and the influence is strong, then it is really possible. However, those who are sheltered by Lupu hate the Marine and the world government, where the world government and the Marine were when they were in danger, and now they are saying these words. In the past, when the pirates oppressed them, Marine didn't care, and some even worked together. They don't trust Marine, this battle, but worship Lupu, the god in their hearts. Sengoku also knows that this is not enough. 5 elders contacted Sengoku to remind them to be more ruthless, and to use extraordinary means in extraordinary times. Sengoku frowned, but said in a low voice. If you are obsessed with your obsession, you will be regarded as rebellious and will be destroyed. Of course, if you are willing to turn your back on the shore, you can go to the nearby marine base to register and express your position. If you do not register, you will be sentenced if you are obsessed. They will also be executed. Although Lupu is very powerful, but he is only one person, and he acts on dozens of places at the same time. No matter how fast Lupu is, it is impossible to rescue them at the same time. This got the world talking. You can't persuade Lupu to become a marine, and start taking the opportunity to remind the world. Yeah, I can't become a marine. Lupu's strength grows. They can't control it. They remind the world that it's better not to be with Lupu. Otherwise, they will be traitors. Islands and even countries will be destroyed by the world government and marine. Lupu is a powerful, but also lacking skills. It's not just for the people in Lupu's current territory, but for the world. Marine and world government are really tough. Critical moments. Give better benefits than anything else, and expect nothing from Lupu. Now it seems that Lupu's power is likely to be shaken, and it will be difficult to grow even in the future, because he will be targeted by the world government and Marine. What will Lupu do? At this time, Kokoja village. The villagers are extremely determined. It is impossible for them to go to Marine base. They do not belong to world government and Marine, they belong to Lupu, so it is impossible. The same is true for other islands and even countries. However, there will naturally be people who will waver and panic. Master Lupu is powerful, but, with Marine operating in multiple places, Master Lupu is really at a loss. What to do? I will not betray Lord Lupu. Lord Lupu is the god in my heart. But, may die in vain. You can pretend that you still belong to the world government, but you are actually under the banner of the world government, and your heart is under the banner of Lord Lupu. At this time, the four emperors also knew that what Marine wanted to do was not to give Lupu too many opportunities in order to suppress the forces after Lupu. Ant doesn't care, and thinks it's fine. That's good too. No country or island dares to take the risk of being sheltered. If we secede, we will have a chance. Lupu will also consider cooperating with the strong. From the point of view of the four emperors, with Lupu and them, there must be more hope. But let's not think about these things first, let's see what Lupu said first. At this time, Sengoku frowned, hopeless, completely an enemy, tearing his face, even if it would make Lupu very unhappy, but he was an enemy after all. Garp was upset. Taking the weak civilians under the knife, can't they give better benefits and let the civilians take the initiative to choose? Many places are protected by Lupu, and they are truly separated, but if the Marine and world government do well enough, then they will not separate. However, Garp had no choice but to do it if he could. After all, the Revolutionary Army has existed for a long time. At this moment, 5 elders smiled disdainfully. HMPH, let's see how you grow in the future. To obey you is to seek death. Remind the world that it can curb the growth of his power in the future. Winning will have a great impact on us, so we will fight back. Still alone, even if you still have some potential, it's useless. Becoming the king of the world is just a dream. And, if you are so strong, I believe the potential is not great. At this time, between flowers, M smiled even more dismissively. Wanting to be the king of the world is ridiculous, and you can't grow stronger. It depends on how you do it. Wait for it to be solved later. I am looking forward to Lupu's ugly face, wanting to see Lupu helpless and furious, helpless. After all, Lupu had allowed himself to be P********* D off. For a moment, the eyes of the world were on Gu Lupu. Lupu smiled. Through people who threaten my territory like this, and even give a warning to the world. If you dare to attack my territory, the consequences will be very serious. Sengoku didn't panic. Lupu, even if you try to stop it, you won't be able to do anything at all. Advertisement. Lupu's voice was deep, cold, murderous, and his tone was extremely firm and cold. Then, let me also remind you. Those of you who dare to do this, dare to move my territory, 1, will exchange the life of a dragon opening person for me to do what I say. In an instant, this made Sengoku's face change drastically, he was so bold. It means that as long as one person is hurt in Lupu's territory, Lupu will kill 10 celestial dragons. But no one ever dared to kill celestial dragons, but if it's Lupu, really dare. This made Sengoku look ugly and angry. Bold. Lupu smiled. Each other. After all, you dare to attack the people on my territory. They are covered by me, understand? In an instant, the people in the Lupu territory became more and more admiring and moved. This last sentence touched them so much and gave them a strong sense of security. And, utterly blissful, feel that they matter. One of their lives can be exchanged for 10 celestial dragons. You must know that celestial dragons are extremely noble. If something happened to celestial dragons in one place, even if it was a trivial matter, such as losing a single hair, they would have to take 100 lives to vent their anger. In the eyes of celestial dragons, the death of 1,000 national nobles is like killing 1,000 chickens, let alone the common people, they are like worthless. However, Lupu's words made them extremely confused. The world shook. Lupu Haki. It's unbelievable, but it's Lupu, so it's definitely going to happen. In this way, the Marine and world government will not dare. The islands and countries that can be sheltered by Lupu are so happy and safe. Ask for flowers. 1 civilian's life, 10 celestial dragons come. After this battle, no matter Marine or pirate, whoever dares to bully Lupu's territory. Yeah, Lupu is horrible, unless you don't want to live. Our country is too bitter and wants to surrender to Lupu. Marine wanted to warn the world to curb Lupu's future development, but Lupu's words directly made the world ignore Marine's warning. Marine is really going to lose outright. At this time, the 4 emperors were also shocked, it was really Haki, and they also believed that Lupu was not just talking. Mariajoy. The 5 elders were outraged. What a guts. Kill a commoner, kill 10 celestial dragons. Hateful. In this way, it's not easy to target. If he really comes to the Holy Land, even if he is alone, even if the Holy Land has us, the high-strength organization under the world government, the Knights of God, and Lord I Am. But if you force him to retreat, it will be inevitable. Pay a high price, the battle cannot take place here, otherwise the Holy Land will be destroyed too much, and even many Kailong people will die. There was fierce fighting here, and it was the Holy Land and the Celestial Dragons who suffered. MNMM. At this time, Im's face was extremely ugly, he was really a lunatic, this guy was too dangerous. However, it can only be incompetent and furious, because it can't solve Lupu, and it is even difficult to solve it. Most of the combat power is used, but there are still revolutionary troops and other big pirates watching. The downfall of the Marine and world government is what the pirates want, and they can do whatever they want. Therefore, when their forces are weak, the pirates and the revolutionary army will definitely take advantage of the opportunity. This is why knowing the territory of the four emperors, why not, and solving them one by one, because it is very risky. Sengoku was angry. How dare you? This is a heinous crime. Lupu smiled. It's a heinous crime. Celestial dragons regard human life as nothing, so isn't it a heinous crime? Just because they are in power, they are not guilty. This is one of the reasons I don't like you. In addition, Lupu despised. At first, I wanted to say that if I hurt a pig or a dog in my territory, it would take the lives of 10 celestial dragons. After all, in my eyes, celestial dragons are not as good as pigs and dogs. As soon as these words came out, Marine was shocked, and the world government, 5 elders, and I am were even more furious. And the world was in an uproar again, to dare to say that in Lupu's eyes, celestial dragons are not as good as pigs and dogs. Thinking of celestial dragons, most of them are disgusting and mediocre, but their status is extremely high, very unbalanced, and they all look like mentally retarded, but there is nothing they can do. Now Lupu's words make many people feel very happy. Lupu said, if you dare to go to our territory, then I will also go to the holy place Mariajoy. This made Sengoku frown and stop saying that, because he felt that Lupu would definitely do it. Originally wanted to warn the world and curb Lupu's future development, but it was no match for Lupu's warning. Then, we can only do the old way, wanted, rewards, no one doesn't like money, this is why pirates are always rewarded. Sengoku said in a deep voice, Lupu, you are too dangerous, your strength is terrifying, and your thoughts are also terrifying. Now, the world is open to you, and you will be the most dangerous man in the world. Set your island bounty too. For a moment, the world was silent and curious, how much will Lupu increase the reward for the second time? The 4 emperors also all fell silent, wondering if they would surpass them. Sengoku has already thought about it, and the voice is loud and resounds through the world. Monkey D. Lupu. Bounty. 30 billion Baileys. How many? Chapter 065 Conquerors at full strength, only the 4 emperors and the emperor's deputy are left in the 4 emperors regiment. For a moment, the whole world was stunned, suspecting that there was something wrong with the ears. The world didn't immediately go into an uproar, because everyone was skeptical. Did I hear you right? 30 billion Baileys. What I heard was also 30 billion Pele. Yes, it's true. Oh my god. 3 seconds passed before the world was in an uproar. It turned out to be true. The first reward was 3 billion Baileys, and the second reward was 30 billion, a direct increase of 10 times. It's outrageous. Even if we all know the horror of Lupu, it is still unbelievable to hear 30 billion. Not only broke the record, but also broke the district. The original record was that Roger, the One Piece, offered a bounty of 5.5 billion Baileys, but Lupu directly offered 30 billion. It's so scary. Will it be a little exaggerated? 3 billion, how much money? Zhengbai can't spend it all in his lifetime. It can only be said that poverty limits our imagination. For us common people, 30 billion and hundreds of lifetimes can't be spent, but for celestial dragons, it's enough. Yeah, it's not surprising. After all, celestial dragons went to participate in the auction of slaves. The starting price is hundreds of millions or billions. It's very casual, which shows how rich celestial dragons is. The pirate world is so big, every year some 587 countries have to hand in the heavenly gold. The wealth of celestial dragons definitely exceeds the sum of all countries and all islands in the world. It's hard to imagine how much money the celestial dragon's treasury holds. If you think about it, it's not an exaggeration. The 4 emperors are all about 4 billion Baileys, and Lupu's strength is so strong. If he is singled out, his strength is definitely several times stronger. Therefore, it is normal for the bounty to be several times higher than 4 emperors. Everything that happened to Lupu, it was unbelievable, normal. Soon, people in the world gradually accepted it and thought it was normal. Even with 10 billion Baileys, they felt that it was a little less. Lupu was too scary. The 2 admirals went all out and lost in 4 rounds. The terrifying Uranus, who can destroy a country with one blow, is no match for Lupu's fist. Moreover, Lupu has such dangerous ideas, his strength is terrifying, and his ideas are dangerous, so 30 billion Baileys is normal. As for the 30 billion Baileys, everyone naturally wants to get it, but they dare not have any thoughts about Lupu, unless they don't want to live anymore. There will also be some people who can't resist the temptation, those with weird and special abilities, feel that they can give it a try. It will also make some people want to join forces, to try. This is why rewards in this world are very important, and it will always arouse some people's minds. At this time, the 4 selves trembled for it. Ant was shocked. 3 billion. The bounty offered is far higher than that of my mother, and the sum of the bounties offered by the 4 emperors is not as good as that of Lupu alone. Mom offers a bounty of 4.3 billion Baileys, Kaido 4.6 billion Baileys, Redbeard 4 billion Baileys, Whitebeard 5 billion Baileys, add up to 18 billion Baileys, and Lupu 30 billion Baileys, much worse. It's unbelievable that the bounty offered by one person is more than the sum of the 4 emperors, but if it's Lupu, it's no surprise. Yeah, it's horrible. It was hard for Kaido to accept. After all, he surpassed him so much, it was a blow. Jack snorted coldly. It's an exaggeration. It's higher than the Four Emperors joint, even, comparable to the bounty offered by all the members of the Four Emperors group, 30 billion, 105 billion at most. When Jin and Quinn thought about it, it was indeed terrifying, not only surpassing the Four Emperors, but even the total number of people in the Four Emperors group added up, and the bounty offered was about the same. Jack said. Then, Lupu alone can single out the Four Emperors group, not the Four Emperors. Quinn shook his head. Even if he is terrifying, it is impossible to single out the Four Emperors regiment, and even the Four Emperors will not be easy. Jin said. His conqueror's Haki is too terrifying. If one Haki passes by, perhaps only the deputy cadres of the Four Emperors are left. The Four Emperors regiment can have 60,000 to 70,000 troops, but when the Lupu conquerors broke out, it should only be 100, left and right. Thinking about it this way, Quinn was silent, indeed. Jack is confident. Facing Lupu in the future, I can't be influenced by his conquerors. Marine Elite Vice Admiral is nothing more than that. Red hair pirates. It's really scary. 3 billion, no one before or after. Break the record. I believe it is impossible for someone to create a new record. The most horrifying thing is that the second time the reward is offered, the regiment will be ruined. How scary it will be in the future. The man most likely to become the king of the world. It's so scary and dangerous, and it's understandable that the reward is so high. For most people in the world, the reward offered by the strong is very reasonable, but in the eyes of celestial dragons, 4 or 5 billion is not too much. Indeed, it is impossible for Marine and world government to deal with Lupu with all their strength, and they will be taken advantage of, so they can only put pressure on Lupu by offering such a high reward. The Whitebeard pirates. Brother Ace, it's outrageous. We, the Whitebeard pirates combined, don't have 30 billion Baileys. Four Emperors group add up, only then. Outrageous. Although it is 6 times higher than my father, I am convinced. Well, then, is Lupu 6 times stronger than Dad? No, I think it's 5 times stronger than Dad at most. 5 times at most. Whitebeard also thinks so. Lupu is 5 times stronger than himself, no exaggeration. However, they don't know, and it doesn't stop. Logue Town, on the sea. Advertisement. Lupu is satisfied. 30 billion, not bad, in line with my status and strength. Hearing Lupu's indifference, Sengoku said in a deep voice, you will eventually fail. The phone bug hangs up, and this battle is completely over. Ace admired him immensely. Brother has offered a bounty of 30 billion, which is too powerful. My 500 million is nothing in front of my brother. It is 60 times higher than me. My brother is my brother. Beasta exclaimed. 3 billion, it will not be surpassed. Secretly, the dragon is very proud and relieved, believing that Lupu can become strong and expand his own power without relying on anyone. Lupu, I believe you can do it. The dragon then left. Windmill Village. Luffy was happy and exclaimed. Brother has offered a bounty of 30 billion, which is too strong. Even if I become One Piece, I can't have so much. To have 1/5 of the big brother is considered amazing. Makino worried. For 30 billion, Lupu will have endless troubles in the future. Luffy believes. For my brother, there is no word for trouble in the dictionary. Kokoja Village. Nami exclaimed. 3 billion Baileys, Mr. Luzong is so powerful. I worked hard to scrape together 6, and it was only 100 million Baileys. Naval Headquarters. Sengoku let out a long breath and his face was ugly. This battle dealt a big blow to the dignity of Marine and world government. Garp is proud in his heart. His grandson, taught by himself, has offered a bounty of 30 billion Baileys, which is far beyond his expectations. Sengoku informs Aokiji. Aokiji, there's no need to leave. Aokiji doesn't know, because he is busy preparing for the warship at this time. Aokiji was taken aback. Don't you need to leave? Well, the battle is over. Aokiji shook. It's over. 1. Although Sakazuki and Pelusolino joined forces, Lupu is also strong. Aokiji glanced at the time. Only 10 minutes had passed since Sengoku arranged for his dispatch. 10 minutes, it's over. But, don't think too much, just win, just catch this terrifying guy. However, Sengoku sighed. Hey, I didn't win, I lost, so there's no need to go. This makes Aokiji vibrate, lose. Then, Aokiji started to read the newspaper, because he listened to the radio playback. This shocked Aokiji, it was horrible, and he was lucky that he didn't go with him. The 3 admirals joined forces and went all out, and they would definitely be hanged and beaten. Grandson of Mr. Garp, too horrible. Aokiji considered himself lucky. At this time, the newspapers kept printing, and everyone expected that although they knew what happened, they all heard it. Of course they wanted to read the newspapers, and there would be pictures on them. The shock of this battle was too great, and the newspapers about this battle would definitely be sold out. The world was amazed. This battle is over, as if in a dream. Lupu is known to all. I understand everything, it's too strong. In this battle, Lupu's bounty has skyrocketed to 30 billion, and he has won many titles of the scariest in an instant. Yeah, the most dangerous man in the world, the strongest duel, the strongest creature, the strongest man in the world, the strongest conqueror's Haki in the world, the highest reward. None of these. But first, quote, Lupu's goal has been achieved. I will also pay attention to his events in the future, and will be the existence that the world pays attention to. At this point, Vivi is very happy. Master Lupu has won, and won a big victory. Master Lupu will definitely be willing to help me. I want to find Master Lupu. In Vivi's heart, Lupu is his own god, the savior in his heart. At this time, many countries and islands seem to be covered by Lupu, all seem to be rescued by Lupu. Among them, including the Fishmen Island, thinking that if it can become Lupu's territory, then no one will dare to catch mermaids. The people in Dressrosa also wanted to let Lupu know about the tragedies that happened in their country. Lupu, who is as righteous as a god, will definitely save them. They are willing to surrender to Lupu. Although it was Shichibukai and Doflamingo who made them miserable, Admiral was all beaten, let alone Shichibukai. A girl with long pink hair and dressed like a female warrior, longing. Master Lupu, it is great to meet you, I hope you can save my country, then I am willing to be a cow or a horse. This girl, Rebecca, is desperate for the country's situation, but at this moment, her heart is full of hope. At this time, Lupu is in a good mood, and the dream has come true. The world is shocked, Marine and world government will be more against themselves. However, Lupu is indifferent, this battle has not really gone all out, and his own potential is still great. It can be said that the current strength has only reached half of the potential at most. If people know this, they will definitely be stunned and even despaired. This time around, Conqueror's Haki was far from really breaking out at full strength. Everyone started comparing themselves to the four emperors. Every imperial regiment has strong troops, cadres, and captains are also very strong. However, there is also a big gap between the four emperors and Lu Zong. Just because Lupu broke out Conqueror's Haki with all his strength, then the four emperors group will only have four emperors and the emperor's deputy. Chapter 066 Fisted, Akainu Kizaru bound for life. After all, 7 times stronger Garp is stronger than Conqueror's Haki, Lupu is stronger by itself. Without a template, Lupu's Conqueror's Haki can rival a redhead. And Fairy, 7 times stronger, Lupu's Conqueror's Haki can be said to be 7 times stronger than redhead. Then, one can imagine how powerful Lupu's Conqueror's Haki is when it explodes at full strength. If it breaks out with all its strength, even the cadres and captains of the Imperial group will be affected. Brother, long time no see. Ace came and was very excited. Ace, are you okay? Well, it's good, I joined the Whitebeard pirates, Daddy and everyone are my family. That's good, let's go to town and drink and chat. Lupu, Ace, and Vista went to the town restaurant to sit down, and the owner warmly entertained them. This is Lupu, who is also the owner of Logue Town. All the Marines here have been evacuated, and Lupu has one more territory. Ace exclaimed. Brother, you are so strong, I didn't expect you to hide so much. Lupu said. I never had the opportunity to exert my full strength before. As Lupu said, looking at the delicious food on the table, his appetite was whetted, and he took off the burden on his limbs. In an instant, Vista and Ace were stunned. The food in their mouths almost spewed out. It was too terrifying. Was the battle just now under a heavy load? Ace is curious. Brother, originally I thought that you were already serious about this battle, did you do your best? But, it turned out to be a battle under heavy load. Could it be that even in this battle, Big Brother still has something to hide? Vista is also extremely curious. Lupu nodded and said, well, this battle doesn't force me to try my best and do my best. In an instant, Ace and Vista were extremely shocked. This battle was not Lupu's full strength, it was too terrifying. Ace exclaimed. Brother, you are such an outrageous monster, teach me how you can be so strong. Vista is also very curious about how to be so strong, and wants to be taught by Lupu. Although he is a swordsman, Haki can teach him. Originally, Ace thought he was excellent, but compared to his big brother, he was nothing at all. Ace desires. Brother, teach me. Lupu said. You already know Haki, you don't need to teach it, it's mainly due to your own reasons for being so scary. Ace also understands that it can only be because the eldest brother is a monster. The three continued to eat, drink and talk. 3 days later. On the warship, Akainu and Kizaru woke up after being treated by the world government's top doctors. When I opened my eyes, my vision was blurred, and the moment I woke up, there was only pain, too much pain. Even, Akainu and Kizaru couldn't help screaming. The doctor said, even with the best treatment and bandages, the injury is too serious. To be precise, the strength of the other party is too terrifying, and the body suffered too much damage. It is not the skin trauma that makes you cry, but internal injuries. Quote, enduring the pain, Akainu and Kizaru looked around, they were not dead. Think back to the previous battle, the terror of Lupu. They're here now, which means they've been beaten by Lupu in 4 rounds, and it's a disastrous one. It's such a shame. Akainu hurriedly asked, what happened next? Now that they are saved, it means something happened, otherwise, he and Kizaru have been killed by Lupu. World government personnel will follow up instructions. Akainu and Kizaru were shocked until they became numb. Kizaru was horrified. It's too scary. It's not the strongest move to defeat us in 4 rounds. Facing Uranus's terrifying attack, he still won. Kizaru is thankful that Master Im took action and controlled Uranus to attack Lupu, giving them a chance to escape, otherwise they would surely die. Akainu felt like he was dreaming. Defeat Uranus, 30 billion rewards, a series of first titles. Akainu gritted his teeth. Damn it, failed miserably, Admiral's me, my strength is so unbearable in front of him. Akainu finds it hard to accept, the gap is too big, not to mention surpassing, catching up is hopeless, the difference is not even a little bit. However, Akainu's eyes became firm. To become stronger, Even if the gap cannot be narrowed, killing him is not something I can do alone. Such a crime must be solved, and we have to work harder. Kizaru's heart is heavy, and life will be difficult in the future, and he will not be able to relax anymore. Such a terrifying existence has appeared. Looking at the news, they fully understand Lupu's horror and Lupu's strength. Akainu felt that none of the 5 himself could defeat Lupu. At the very least, 10 of us will do. But, so there is hope. Akainu believes. Lupu, you are no match for justice. 3 admirals, marshals, and the 9 members of the Knights of God, 5 elders and 2 or 3 more will be enough to solve you. You don't need Marine and World to solve you. The government's highest combat power is all out. Advertisement. However, although this confidence can be defeated, it is also somewhat unrealistic. The world is not just an enemy of Lupu. However, as long as you don't unite with the 4 emperors, one day Lupu will fight against you, and you will be unable to break through, and you will definitely fail. After understanding, the doctor reminded. 2 admirals, now you are healing your injuries in meditation. The injuries are too serious. Even you will have to get out of bed for 10 days and a half months. If you want to move freely, it will take at least a month. Akainu asked, what about restoring the fighting ability, and even the full power? The doctor said, this is very difficult. I'm afraid it will take about a year. Even if it can be in full bloom, it still needs to be wrapped in some gauze. This made Akainu and Kizaru startled. Why? The doctor explained. Continue to tie it so that it can be better maintained. The injury is too serious. Kizaru and Akainu looked at their current self. They were covered with white bandages everywhere. They looked like mummies. The doctor said. Afterwards, the bandages will be untied continuously, but some fatal parts will remain, and it will take a long time to tie them up. Akainu frowned and asked, how long does it take to tie the straps at the back? Akainu thought that he didn't have a strap on his body in the later stage, otherwise, as a Marine Admiral, would he wear some straps around his body all the time? It's also a shame. The doctor is a little embarrassed. Akainu shouted. Speak quickly. Yes, it will be tied for a long time, to be precise, a lifetime. What? This made Akainu and Kizaru's faces change, completely unexpected. Akainu was angry. Are you kidding me? Tied for a lifetime. The doctor nodded again and again. Yes, but don't worry, there are not so many, it's just around the neck. Stop kidding, it's impossible for a lifetime. Kizaru is hard to accept, let alone Akainu. It's best to be haunted. After all, the injuries you 2 suffered this time are life-threatening. It took a lot of effort and used various world government high-tech secret medicines to get you out of danger. From now on, you must always be pestering. Akainu and Kizaru looked ugly, and they were beaten so hard that they would haunt them for the rest of their lives. If Lupu knew, it would not be a surprise. After all, in the original plot of Summit War, Garp punched Marco. Marco's straps had been wrapped for 2 years, let alone so many more terrifying fists from Lupu. Therefore, it is normal for the straps to be wrapped around for a lifetime. Kizaru said. Don't be angry, Sakazuki, calm down and heal your injuries. Only when you recover can you deal with Lupu. This is a terrifying existence. We must listen to the doctor and recover as soon as possible. At this time, Naval Headquarters. Sengoku was discussing one thing. Wait for Sakazuki and Pelusolino to recover. Should we send stronger forces to take down Lupu? Crane said. They recovered enough to fight, at least a month. Even with the 2 of them, and Aokiji, you, me, and. Garp said directly. I will not go, I will guard Marineford. Sengoku will not let Garp go, and he will definitely not go all out if he goes there. Feel free to guard Marineford, after all, almost all of Marine's top combat forces are dispatched. Sengoku said. Lupu conquerors, the elite vice admiral will be dizzy, so the one who can deal with him can only be the elite vice admiral, and the quasi-admiral will start. At that time, you can also bring the T-Dolphin, Momosuke. Lupu is a terrifying and dangerous guy who is most likely to affect the existence of the 800 years regime and must be resolved as soon as possible. At this time, a rough and majestic voice sounded, and a burly figure came in. Immediately, Sengoku stood up with a respectful face. Boss, the person who came here was when Kong Sengoku was still admiral, and the craftsman was Kong Chen. He said. With the commander-in-chief, there is more hope. This is the highest combat power that our marine can deploy, plus the world government. The strong CPO, 5 elders. In this case, maybe it is enough, as for the Knights of God. Marine has Garp and other combat forces to guard naval headquarters, and the world government naturally has the Knights of God to guard Mariajoy. In this way, even if the pirates want to sneak into naval headquarters and the revolutionary army wants to sneak into Mariajoy, they can still be prevented. Therefore, don't worry about the safety of Mariajoy and 293 naval headquarters. What you need to think about is whether these combined forces can defeat Lupu. Because the next operation must be successful. If it cannot be guaranteed, it is better not to act. Because the risk is very high, the pirates and the revolutionary army are dispatched with greater force, so the safety of naval headquarters and Mariajoy is not absolute. Kong asked. Sengoku, do you think this kind of combat power is enough? Akainu, Aokiji, Kizaru. Sengoku, Crane, Kong. T-Dolphin, Momosuke. CPO picks out the 3 most powerful, plus 5 elders. In total, 16 powerful combat forces. With such a terrifying combat power, one has to think about whether he is sure, or whether he can only deal with one person. However, it is not surprising that it is against Lupu. Sengoku said. The strength of Lupu that we have learned in this battle, if the 16 powerful forces sent by the Marine and the world government are to deal with it, we will besiege him with all our strength, and we will definitely be able to take him down regardless of the cost of casualties. It's just. Kong shuddered in his heart. You are afraid that Lupu still has something to hide in this battle. Sengoku nodded. Everyone can see that in this battle, even with Uranus's last extreme continuous output, Lupu seemed to be able to handle it with ease, not like trying his best. Once he takes action, he must succeed. To be honest, there is no absolute certainty. Only when fully understood is it fit to act. Kong nodded. Well, the action may lead to a full-scale world war. You can't be hasty and postpone it indefinitely. You can act after you understand it. In addition, you can recruit the world in advance to improve the Marine's combat power. The world government also urged Vegapunk, develop the Seraphim faster. Sengoku was overjoyed. In this case, the strength of Marine and world government has improved rapidly, and we hope to be even bigger when we solve Lupu in the future. Then, just wait an upgrade. At this time, Lupu said goodbye to Ace. Big brother, I believe you can do it. I'm relieved that Big Brother is so strong. Although he wanted to stay longer, Ace also knew that the enemy Big Brother faced was strong, so he couldn't delay Tiantuan to Wang Tianli. See you. After saying goodbye, Lupu lay on the back of the King of the Sea and entered the Grand Line, the next destination, Alabasta. Chapter 077 Garp the Fist, God Fist Lupu. 7 days later, Lupu came to Whiskey Peak and was welcomed by the crowd. Although it is a town that welcomes pirates, seeing Lupu makes me even more excited. Lord Lupu, take this place as your territory. Lord Lupu is invincible, even if it breaks away from the jurisdiction of the world government, but becomes Lord Lupu's territory, Marine dare not do anything. After all, if you dare to attack Lord Lupu's territory, Lord Lupu will definitely kill the celestial dragons in exchange. 7 inches. Lord Lupu is so strong, I saw you in person. Lord Lupu, can I get to know you? I am the flower of the town. If Master Lupu wants to become the king of the world in the future, he must need a harem beauty. Everyone admires and even wants to be the woman next to Lupu. Even if it is Junhua, but Lupu took a look, compared with Nami, Robin, Hancock, they are worse. Moreover, her own harem is not just as simple as beauty. Lupu was warmly entertained, and the time had passed, and the world had become fully aware that the newspapers about that battle would be sold out as soon as they came out. Everyone was scrambling to buy it. Although they knew the result, they wanted to know more about what happened, and saw it through the photos in the newspaper. This battle has greatly enhanced Lupu's reputation and deterrence, and it has also made some islands and countries excited, looking forward to Lupu's coming, and wanting to submit to Lupu. Because, under the jurisdiction of the world government, they are living too hard and cannot get help at all, including countries with some diseases, and they will not get help either. The world government just wants them to perish. But now they have hope. This battle laid a good foundation for Lupu's road ahead. And, about the title of Lupu, there is, and it has been spread around the world. The strong have titles. For example, Whitebeard. Whitebeard is not his name, but his title, actually called Edward Newgate. Shanks, on the other hand, are called red-haired Shanks. Kaido, Kaido of the Beasts. Marine, Sengoku, Sengoku of Buddha. Garp, Garp the Fist. And Lupu is called, Shenquan Luyu. Garp the Fist, God Fist Lupu. For such a title, Lupu likes it, and Shenquan is completely worthy of it. At this time, Whiskey Town. Lupu held a banquet with the people here in the lobby, eating delicious food, drinking good wine, singing and dancing, and having fun. At this time, Vivi also came here. After that battle, Vivi wanted to find Lupu even more, and kept asking, and knew that Lupu had come here. At this time, Vivi was worried, because the people from the Baroque studio were also here. Although Lupu is terrifying, it is hard to guard against backstabbing. At this time, Lupu fell asleep after eating and drinking. Great, fell asleep. 3 billion Baileys, and the boss doesn't have to worry about it. Do you want to solve it now? No, if you live, if you publicly execute Marine, you will get all the rewards, but if you kill, you can only get 30%. Although the defense is terrible, but in a coma, you can kill him without using weapons or defense. However, this drug is enough for him to sleep for a long time, and he will make a fortune. I didn't expect it to be successful like this. Admiral was beaten by him, and Uranus was no match for him. It was impossible for the 4 emperors to join forces to take him down, but we won it. We will become famous. Ha ha ha, agreed. They, apparently from the Baroque studio, consisted of 4 people. They are dark-skinned, such as King Kong Barbie's Miss Monday. Lori is tall, Miss Valentine with a green umbrella. Mr. 5, Mr. 5, Mr. 4, Beb. They are excited and feel that they have succeeded. The terrifying Lupu was taken down by them, very proud. At this time, Vivi came, followed by Mr. 8, or Ikalem, the captain of the Barabastan Kingdom Guard, responsible for protecting Vivi, with curly hair and hidden machine guns and cannons inside. Baby, you asked, why are you here? Why can't I come? One more person is naturally better, we are in the same group. Vivi pretended to be calm, but in fact his heart was heavy. Master Lupu was drugged by them and fell into a coma. Damn it. In that case, it would be useless for Master Lupu to be stronger, because in a coma. Very dangerous. No, they must not be allowed to succeed. The boss gave me seastone handcuffs and anklets, and specially asked me to bring them over to Lupu to handcuff them. After all, it is an extremely terrifying existence, and he must be blocked even when he is asleep. Beb got it. But, just when Vivi was about to enter the room, Mr. Five's face darkened. Wait, before this incident, Valentine and I have another mission, which you don't know about. This made others startled. What else is there to do? Mr. Five said in a deep voice. That's what the boss said. Our secret has been known. Although I don't know what the secret is, the corporate motto of the company is mystery. In the company, no one's history will be revealed. It is the rule to track down. If someone knows the boss's secret, there is only one dead end. Valentine said. So, we carefully investigated who knew the boss's secret, and the result was terrible. We found an important person from a certain kingdom who sneaked into our Baroque studio. The culprit is the Barabastan kingdom now. The missing princess, that is you. 1. After the words fell, Valentine and Mr. Five fixed their eyes on Vivi. Ikalem's face was ugly. Oops, I was discovered, go to hell. Boom boom boom. Advertisement. Weapon shells in the Ikaram curls blast Mr. Five and Valentine. However, during the bombing, Mr. Five and Valentine came out unharmed. Mr. Five despises. You are not my opponent at all, you are of different levels. You hid very deep, and you have mixed into the interior. Alabasta guard captain, Ikaram. And the princess, Neferutali Vivi. I respect you. The owner of the Baroque studio ordered him to come and kill you. Just now, did you want to save Lupu? So that he can help you fight against the boss and save your country. It's a pity that we know your identities, so go die first. Vivi didn't hide anymore. She let go of her ponytail, her temperament changed suddenly, and was recognized by others. It was really Princess Vivi. Do you want to resist? It's useless. Don't underestimate me. Lupu is the hope of our country. I will not let you hand him over to the world government. HMPH. Mr. Five smiled proudly. It's a pity that the strongest and most dangerous man in the world was brought down by us. However, at this moment, Lupu came out with a yawn, stretched his arms, and clacked. Slept comfortably. In an instant, the faces of the people in the Baroque studio changed drastically. He's awake. Babe, Monday's face changed drastically. How is it possible? It shouldn't be. It should be in severe lethargy. Sleeping for 7 days and 7 nights is fine, and the dosage has been increased. How could it be? Monday couldn't believe it. Vivi saw it, pleasantly surprised. Great, Master Lupu is fine. Mr. Five and Valentine felt extremely heavy immediately. Oops, how come? Lupu smiled. You can still put me down. Even with medicine, it's impossible. How could the strong not notice it? Even if I drink it, to this extent, I can't let me down. My body, it's not something you can understand. It makes them uneasy. Run. They ran straight away, not thinking about fighting. After all, Admiral was hanged and beaten, let alone them. Mr. Five picked out his nostrils and threw boogers to bombard him. He is a person with the ability to explode the fruit of Paramesha. The bombardment exploded on Lupu with flames flying across the sky, but Lupu emerged from it unscathed. Mr. Five is in despair. No injuries. Beb was afraid. After all, even Uranus can't hurt him. I was told that your ability to explode fruit is gone, so run away. Scattered running is sure to die. He is too fast. We can only give hope to Valentine, understand? Depend on your ability. Valentine also knows that she can only rely on her own ability. Valentine floated up with an umbrella and quickly rushed over Lupu. At this time, Mr. Five and the three of them ran in different directions. Valentine's heart is heavy, worried. How will she run after that? After you've crushed Lupu so he can't move, let's run. Vivi understood, and hurriedly reminded. Master Lupu, get out of the way. He is a superhuman light lion fruit capable person. He can weigh himself as light as 1 kilogram, and he can also make himself weigh up to 10,000 kilograms. If he holds you down, it is difficult to move. After all, it is 10,000 kilograms. However, Lupu didn't dodge, and waited for Valentine to drop with great interest. Don't hide. It's great. There is hope. Valentine fully stimulates the fruit ability, and now it has developed to a maximum weight of 10,000 kilograms. 10,000 kilograms to the top. Valentine fell quickly, sitting on Lupu, trying to pin Lupu down. Valentine suddenly felt like a hill. However, when it fell, Lupu just raised his right hand and dragged it directly, and his body was motionless and straight. It made Vivi feel that what was being dragged was just a girl weighing less than 80 caddies. However, the ground around Lupu instantly cracked and sunken into a big pit. Only the ground under Lupu's feet was intact, and let Vivi know that 10,000 kilograms were acting on Lupu. Lupu is equivalent to dragging a person weighing 10,000 kilograms, but it is so easy to drag. Valentine couldn't believe it. She caught it so easily, and now she weighs 10,000 kilograms. How is it possible? It's too scary. Valentine wanted to escape and become lighter, but Lupu grabbed it with his right hand, and Valentine's face turned red. Because Lupu's right hand is holding onto his little butt tightly. Lupu said, don't make it lighter, just like this, the weight is good, and it can be used as my exercise tool. Nords said, Lupu is like lifting a dumbbell, one up and one down, the arm muscles bulge. This made Vivi dumbfounded, and the reason why he didn't dodge is that he used Valentine as a dumbbell and exercise equipment. Valentine also couldn't accept it. She was very ashamed, but she didn't dare to move, because Lupu's hand would force her with a little struggle, and her little butt was about to be scratched. He can only hold 10,000 kilograms. At the same time, Lupu glanced around, and the other three had already run away. You don't need to do anything to deal with them. The conqueror's haki erupted, engulfing them instantly. Ah! With 3 shrill screams, they were directly shaken to death, bleeding from their 7 orifices. Valentine didn't dare to breathe, and Mr. 5 was shocked to death by Conqueror's haki. If it wasn't because he was equivalent to a tool man, then he would have died too. Lupu said. I still need to keep getting stronger. Exercise is essential, but no matter how difficult the environment is, it's useless to me. You are a good tool. Continue to improve your fruit ability. Valentine was very speechless, and really regarded herself as an exercise machine. However, nature can only follow suit, and it is fortunate. In addition, she thinks it is very good to be Lupu's tool person, which is more face-saving than being a member of Baroque Studio. Master Lupu, even being your tool man, I am very honored. Because, you are too powerful, and I know your deeds. Forgive me for the offense just now. I will work hard to improve and develop fruit ability, so that I can getting heavier and heavier, so as to make up for my fault, my rudeness to you. 078 Pluton against Lupu. Okay, stop talking, use your body to make up for it. Lupu's words made Valentine happy. I'll do my best to make it up. Okay, change your position. Lupu lay down directly and ordered to Valentine. Come on, sit up. Okay, Master Lupu. Valentine obeyed and sat up, and Lupu began to do sit-ups. The gravity of 10,000 kilograms acts on the body, which is very good, and it is very helpful for exercise and improvement. That's why Lupu kept her, a very good tool person. Although it is already 7 times stronger than Garp's strength, it is not enough, and it is not yet truly invincible. Invincibility means that no matter how many powerful people in this world unite, they cannot match themselves. But now, it is still far from being done, so it needs to be stronger, at least it must be thousands of times stronger than Garp. Thank you Master Lupu, you saved me. Vivi is very grateful, and originally wanted to help Lupu, but ended up being saved. Vivi felt a little silly. How could I even think about helping Lord Lupu? I don't need it at all. Lord Lupu is so powerful that they can't deal with it, even with despicable means. Lupu said. I have a good impression of you, are you looking for me? Hearing this, Vivi felt more hopeful, and 390 was very happy. I'm flattered to make a good impression on you, Lord Lupu. Vivi was very excited, but her face became heavy immediately. I am the Princess of Alabasta. This country is one of the few countries that are called civilized and peaceful. However, that was in the past, and now it is in civil strife. In recent years, some people have begun to plan revolutions, and the people have rioted one after another. It was getting more and more chaotic. One day, I heard about an organization called Baroque Studios. Speaking of the name of the Baroque Studio, Vivi was extremely resentful and gritted his teeth. We learned that this organization has been inciting the people, but once we want to track down more information, we will find that all the clues have been cut off, and there is no way to start. So I asked Callum to find a way to sneak into the Baroque Studio. In this way, the identity and purpose of the mastermind behind the scenes can be known. Lupu praised. You are a brave princess. Being praised by Lupu, Vivi is even happier. Although Lupu knew all about it, he couldn't express it very clearly and asked. So, have you found out their purpose? If it is a criminal act that will put a country in danger, I will take action. This is what I have always adhered to. Vivi nodded expectantly. I know that you, Master Lupu, are the real justice. Whether it is a pirate or a marine, as long as it is a crime, you will solve it. However, you will not take action against some pirates, because the pirates there may also be good people in it, so it's best for Master Lupu to do this. Vivi is extremely adored. At this time, Valentine also really worships Lupu. Vivi said. Their purpose is to establish an ideal country. Although they say this, it is completely different from Lord Lupu's goal. What they say is a big lie. Their real purpose is to seize the kingdom of Barabastan. I must return home quickly and tell everyone truth, quell the riots of the citizens, because if it goes on like this, Alabasta, it belongs to them. As for the mastermind behind the scenes, the owner of the Baroque Studio, I dare not tell anyone before, because it is too dangerous, but Lord Lupu is so terrifying, Admiral is crushed by you, so even if it is him, Lord Lupu will definitely be able to easy to deal with. The mastermind behind the scenes is Crocodile, the 7 warlords of the sea. Lupu was indifferent. 7 warlords of the sea. It's really nothing to me. 4 rounds of defeating Admiral, Crocodile the 7 warlords of the sea, can be brought down with 10 punches. Advertisement. Vivi's eyes are shining, Master Lupu is like a god. Vivi looks forward to. Lord Lupu, will you help me? If you can save Alabasta, the country and I will do our best to repay Master Lupu. Lupu said. My goal is to save all kinds of difficult islands and countries, and then accept them as my territory, out of the control of the world government, is that okay? Of course, I believe the father, BHCA, will also be willing. After that war, many countries have already wanted to break away from the world government and become the leader of Lord Lupu. Okay, then let's go, to your country, Crocodile, I'll beat you up. Vivi was extremely excited and agreed. Although hopeful, but apprehensive, now she agrees, which makes Vivi ecstatic. Thank you so much, Master Lupu. Vivi was so excited that she lost her composure and hugged Lupu directly. In the past, she was hopeless and powerless, but as a princess, she must be rescued. If no one helps, even if you risk your life, you have to fight. But now, Lupu will be with her, making her full of hope and a sense of security in her heart. She was so excited that she hugged Lupu tightly, and even shed tears of joy. Lupu was out of breath and asked, Vivi, how old are you? Vivi said, Master Lupu, I am 15 years old. Lupu sighed softly. The age is not young, but the scale is really not small, I am a little out of breath. Only then did Vivi realize that the hug was too tight, and when she looked down, her ball was right next to Lupu. Vivi quickly let go, stepped back, and blushed. Sorry, Master Lupu, I didn't mean to. Lupu nodded. Understandable, excited Gaff, then, let's go. Lupu, Vivi, Valentine sit on the back of the King of the Sea and head to Alabasta. At this time, the Baroque studio. Crocodile, I have already checked, because Mr. 5 they didn't reply, so I went to check, and they failed. Crocodile guessed. Now, Princess Vivi, is coming with Lupu. This frightened the men. Boss, please, Shenquan Lupu, it's too scary. His style will definitely destroy us and take this kingdom as his territory. Crocodile's face was gloomy. What are you afraid of? God Fist Lupu, the most dangerous man in the world, replaced Whitebeard and became the strongest in the world. There is a reward of 30 billion. If he wants to stop me, I will kill him. Crocodile was not afraid, even excited to fight. This made the subordinates not understand, it was too dangerous. However, in this world, whether it is the weak or the strong, some people will do this, and that is to die. In the original plot of Summit War, Crocodile always wanted to do something to Whitebeard, even thinking about killing Whitebeard, so he was so confident. Therefore, even if Lupu comes, he will not run away, but wants to stay for a while, and with his personality, he will not run away, not to mention that he has planned for so long, and he will give up and run away when he knows that Lupu is coming, let alone might do, because the stigma was off. Therefore, even knowing that Lupu is very powerful, Crocodile intends to fight. So, let's act in advance. If Pluton is found, then even Lupu may be able to compete. Chapter 079 Robin's Worship. 7 days later, Lupu, Vivi, and Valentine came to Alabasta. Makita, come up, although this is offensive, but for Master Lupu's cultivation, I am offended. After all, Valentine is her name in the Baroque studio, so she was called by her original name, Makita. Makita jumped directly on Lupu's back, wrapped her legs around Lupu's waist, and wrapped her arms around Lupu's neck. At the same time, launch fruit capacity, 100,000 kilograms in weight. Lupu followed. Vivi went to Wangcheng. Makita felt that it was a great honor for her to be like this, which was equivalent to being carried by Master Lupu. Although Master Lupu was used for cultivation, in the eyes of outsiders, it was equivalent to Master Lupu carrying herself on her back. Makita was happy. I'm so happy. However, the current tower also has a sense of crisis. I need to develop the fruit stronger and have greater gravity, otherwise when it can't temper Master Lupu will not want me. At this time, walking in the desert city, before reaching the royal city, many civilians recognized him. That's it, Divine Fist Lupu. Really, Kui Ran has come to our country. There is a rebellion in our country, Lord Lupu is here, which side to help? No matter which side is helped, the country may be covered by Master Lupu. This kingdom belongs to Lord Lupu, and we are not afraid that the world government will do something to us, because Lord Lupu will trade the lives of celestial dragons. Welcome Master Lupu. Master Lupu will become the real boss of our country, great. Beside Lord Lupu is Princess Vivi. It seems that they are on the side of the national army. I believe Master Lupu will make this country better and better. People in small, out-of-the-way places like East Blue know Lupu, and people here naturally know it. Seeing Lupu is like seeing an idol or a god. He is extremely happy and cheers. Lupu followed Vivi while admiring the exotic scenery of the desert city along the way. The scenery in too many places in the pirate world is much more beautiful than the previous world. In this world, the fun is not only getting stronger, but also what you see, feel, and eat when you travel. Lord Lupu is carrying a girl on his back. It was carried on the back of Master Lupu. The ground is shaking because Mr. Lupu did not take a step, and the ground shook, but there was no depression where he landed, and the ground around Mr. Lupu cracked. It seems to bear a lot of gravity. Is it because of that girl? After walking 10,000 meters, Lupu felt that it was okay, so he had to go directly. After all, the situation was urgent, and the movement of the rebels was already heard from afar. Crocodile moved ahead. Makita, wait, let's go directly to Wangcheng. Quote. Makita disengaged and jumped down. Immediately, Lupu spread his arms. Vivi and Makita understood, stood in front of Lupu's arms, and was hugged by Lupu for a moment, and then Lupu kicked off the soles of his feet, bringing Vivi and Makita into the sky. Advertisement. This horrified Vivi and Makita. They were already at a high altitude, and the people below were like ants, with the wind whistling in their ears, they were quickly approaching the royal city. At this time, before the royal city, Vivi's father Cobra was defeated by Crocodile. Crocodile didn't kill directly. Before I kill you, I have something to ask you, the king, and that is my most ambitious purpose. Crocodile looked down at Cobra, and asked in a deep voice, tell me, where is Pluton? Cobra's pupils shrank. UB ************** D, why do you know that name? Crocodile desires. Pluton, I heard that one shot can wipe out an island in smoke. It is the most evil ancient weapon in the world. I believe the power is not inferior to Uranus. Crocodile guessed. It should be sleeping in a corner of this country, and my goal was it from the beginning. Crocodile couldn't hide his excitement, and said his ideal. As long as you have it, you can build the strongest military country here. When I become the king of this country, it will be easy for many pirates to belong to my banner. If you increase your power, one day you will be able to surpass the world government. A power above, a country like a dream. Cobra said in a deep voice. Although I don't know where you know this name, I don't know where it is, and I'm not even sure whether it really exists in a certain corner of this country. Asking for flowers. Crocodile felt sorry. You don't know, it's no wonder, otherwise it wouldn't be like this. It seems that what you said is not a lie. You don't know much more than me. In this case, tell me another thing. Where are the historical texts recorded? At this time, Robin appeared. Although it belongs to the Baroque studio, the purpose is to know the historical text content here. In order to know the historical truth and to survive, he chose to join. I won't tell you. Cobra regarded death as home, but was worried about his daughter Vivi, and was also very unwilling. He didn't want the country to perish in his own hands and be replaced by pirates. 0. However, I believe that Lupu would have saved the country if he had known what was happening here. For Lupu, he is naturally clear, after that war, no one knows. Speaking of Lupu, Robin's eyes were full of admiration. If the king of the world, the ruler of this world, was Lupu, then the Ohara incident that year might not have happened. The world ruled by Lupu will definitely be better. She can see that the changes that Lupu wants to make are naturally for the better. She doesn't like the current world government, so she looks forward to Lupu's success in the future and admires it. Everyone in Ohara is like a sinner who dies, and he cannot avenge himself, because the enemy is the ruler of this world, but he himself is designated as the son of the devil. This makes her powerless and helpless, but with the appearance of Lupu, Robin is looking forward to, admiring, and wants to know. Don't tell me, it seems that I am too gentle with you. Crocodile looked cold and raised his golden hook. However, when it comes to doing it, Lupu's awe-inspiring voice resounded. Just now I heard from high altitude that you want to gain power over the world government one day. If the ruler at that time is me, then you should forget about it. Then, a figure descended from the sky. Crocodile looked over and recognized it at a glance. His face was heavy. Shen Fist, Lupu Inch. .080 Full Conquerors. Stun the crocodile. Lupu cut straight to the point. Give you two choices, surrender, or be my enemy. If you surrender, you will be the subordinate of my future king of the world. You are still free, but you don't have to think about establishing the most ideal country. You have no hope without me. And, your real dream is to become the One Piece king, right? Crocodile's face was gloomy. It's hopeless, don't underestimate me. Crocodile struck directly, his arms slashing out like knives. Desert sword, slashing out, the ground cracked, but Lupu didn't dodge, but collapsed with a slap of his attack. This made Crocodile shake, as expected of the existence of 30 billion, very strong. However, the more this happened, the more excited he was. Erosion reincarnation. This trick, after the right hand touches the ground, use dry crack to absorb the moisture of the creature or object it touches and gradually spread to the surroundings. After it is activated, it has the terrifying power that even rocks can be pulverized into sand. After using it, the surrounding buildings will gradually become sandy. It sank, and the ground seemed to be dead, turning into a dry and cracked wasteland. Moreover, the body moisture of the person who touches it will be sucked dry. However, the sand swept in and Lupu still didn't move. This made Crocodile sneer. You are very strong, relying on strength. 10 of me is not your opponent, but my 7-7 ability will put your life in danger. Even if I am very strong, I am still a human being, and your body will have water. Once it's sucked dry, it's like a mummified corpse, and it's over. Lupu smiled. What a tricky ability. This made Crocodile frown and say with a smile. This is not jealousy at all, but ridicule. Vivi is not worried. I believe that since Master Lupu is like this, he will definitely not be afraid. The sand touched Lupu, and Crocodile thought he was going to win, and he beat Lupu, so his reputation rose. However, in the next instant, Crocodile's expression changed, unbelievable. Because the sand is close to Lupu, it dissipates directly. It was as if his own abilities had failed. How come? Wufa approached. The crocodile exploded with full force, and more sand poured out, touching Lupu as well, but Lupu's body was unaffected, as if his sand was just ordinary sand. Lupu despised. Don't bother, Admiral Akainu and Kizaru have been beaten by me, don't mention you, your ability has made many people fear, but if it is invalidated, it will be the same as ordinary sand. Crocodile is sure, his own sand is useless. How come? My sand is useless. Lupu said. Haki is the king in this world, your fruit ability is affected by my Haki, and it is invalid. It is naturally impossible to absorb the moisture in my body. Crocodile is more vibrated, and the fruit ability is invalid. What is the use of the ability to eat fruit by oneself? It is invalid in front of Lupu. When armament Haki touches himself, the elementalization can be invalidated, but it can also invalidate the attack. As long as Haki is strong enough. Crocodile's expression was ugly and he couldn't accept it. He condensed the storm in his hand and threw it out. It was instantly huge, and the tornado storm swept towards Lupu. However, Lupu slapped it casually, and the tornado shattered. This made the crocodile tremble, and natural disasters such as terrifying tornadoes were all crushed by Lupu. Vivi exclaimed. as expected of Master Lupu who can defeat Uranus. Makita said. Boss, please submit to Lord Lupu. You are very powerful, but Lord Lupu can defeat Uranus who destroys the country with one blow. And boss, your destructive ability is no match for Uranus, let alone against Lupu my lord. Crocodile finds it difficult to accept, and surrenders himself. Although he will still be free, it is impossible. Seeing that Crocodile was about to move on, Lupu was helpless. Facing the full siege of Akainu and Kizaru, I'm still a little interested in doing it. Facing Uranus, I'm also a little interested. But facing you, I'm really not interested. This P*** D off Crocodile, who belittled himself. Facing Admiral, I will not be hypocritical. Don't underestimate me, you are very powerful, even the 4 emperors, you are far superior, but don't think that I am not even interested in letting you do it. Lupu said. I'm really not interested, because if I burst out Conqueror's Haki with all my strength, you can hardly keep standing. Hearing this, Crocodile's expression changed, how could it be possible? He couldn't believe it, but Lupu didn't look like he was lying. Vivi, Cobra is also terrified, can Conqueror's Haki bring Crocodile down? Even they are unbelievable, even, the world will hear, and it will be in disbelief, even if it is already well aware of Lupu's horror. Makita was horrified. If it is true, if this matter spreads, it will shock the whole world again. Vivi exclaimed. Master Lupu's conquerors can stun the elite Vice Admiral, and Shichibukai's Crocodile is stronger than the elite Vice Admiral, but it can also stun. Advertisement. This kind of thing is unimaginable, but subconsciously expect it, as if any unimaginable thing can be realized on Lupu. Crocodile was angry. Don't be kidding, your conquerors is powerful, even stronger than Red Hair, the strongest conquerors in the world. The real damage can make the Buster Call warship appear cracks, it can instantly kill the elite Marine, and can stun the elite Vice Admiral. But, what do you take your conqueror's chi for? Against Shichibukai? Crocodile didn't believe it. It's absolutely impossible. No matter how powerful your conqueror's Haki is, it can't stun me. If that's the case, wouldn't you be able to stun the cadres and captains of the Imperial Regiment? Lupu nodded. It is indeed possible. If there is an army of 4 emperors in front of me, I will explode Conqueror's Haki with all my strength, and indeed only the 4 emperors and the emperor's lieutenant will be left. Hearing this, Crocodile was shocked and exploded with all his strength. Could it be that in the previous battle, he didn't have the strength to reveal his royal aura? Thinking of this, Crocodile felt more and more impossible. After all, it was all so terrifying. Buster Call was defeated in an instant, and there were only 2 admirals left, but, this is not Lupu's full conquerors. How is it possible? Anyone, including the strong, even the 5 elders, would think this way. Because it's unbelievable. Conqueror's Haki can stun Shichibukai, royal cadre, captain. Only the 4 emperors, can the power of the emperor's deputy be unaffected? No kidding, this shouldn't exist. Vivi, Cobra is also unbelievable, but, true. Makita was horrified. Master Lupu didn't explode Conqueror's Haki with all his strength at that time. Then, how much did it explode? This makes Vivi and Cobra curious, and even Crocodile wants to know. Because, maybe it really didn't explode with all its strength. Judging by Lupu's expression, it doesn't look like he's joking. However, it is difficult to accept. Crocodile shook his head. Stunned all 5 elite vice admirals, isn't it full blown? How is it possible? No, it's impossible to stun me, even if you don't have full strength. It's impossible to stun me with all your strength. I am already a strong person in this world. How could I be stunned by Conqueror's Haki? I am not a frog in a well, but have been in the sea for many years, no J. Lupu thought for a while and replied. At that time, when Buster Call was defeated, the Conqueror's Haki that broke out could be about 50%. It was originally planned to be 20%, but after all, there are 5 elite vice admirals, so I used 50%. Now, let me show you. Crocodile unbelievable, just used, half-powerful Conqueror's Haki. Crocodile was hit in half, his cognition was broken, and he kept shaking his head. Impossible, only 50%. This is what Vivi and the others didn't expect. They thought they used 70% to 80% of the power, but it was only half of the power. Crocodile couldn't believe it, but Vivi and the others believed it. Too horrible. Lord Lupu, I'm sure you won't talk nonsense. In that battle, Master Lupu still kept a secret, and when the news spread, it was definitely another big news that shocked the whole world. Crocodile's heart sank. It was 50% before, so if he puts all his strength into it now, maybe it's true. No, I can't think of it this way. It's Shichibukai anyway. If you are defeated, you must also be defeated by strength. How can you be stunned by Conqueror's Haki? Lupu, you do it. I am convinced if I defeat it with strength. Lupu said. Are you saying that I don't want to use Conqueror's Haki? It's too embarrassing to faint like that. Also, if you are a minion, it's okay to be stunned, but the stronger you are, the more famous you are. It's true to be stunned by Conqueror's Haki, it's hard to accept. It's like being knocked down and defeated by an ant. However, don't feel ashamed. The world will not laugh at you if you know it. After all, I am the one who released conquerors, like a god. I'm not afraid that you will stun me, come if you have the ability. Crocodile has burst into full momentum, highly concentrated, ready to meet Lupu's conquerors. Okay then, I'll let you accept the fact that it's also the first time I've fully exploded Conqueror's Haki. In an instant, Vivi's eyes lit up, expecting. As for Crocodile, subconsciously uneasy, sweating coldly, he told himself that it was impossible to be stunned, and that he was not that unbearable. Boom. In the next moment, 4.2 Lupu burst out Conqueror's Haki with all his strength, and the sky and the earth were filled with dark red. In an instant, a ravine was directly cracked from the ground in front of Lupu to Crocodile, 5 meters wide and more than 2 kilometers deep. This made Crocodile vibrate. The actual damage was too terrifying, no wonder the Buster Call warships were cracked. And now, such a full-fledged Conquerors not only caused cracks in the Buster Call warship, but also a hole in the crack. Crocodile was instantly affected, his mind was dizzy, it was difficult to breathe, and he was under extremely heavy pressure, as if he was being supported by a real ghost. His body trembled subconsciously and became limp. With a bang, Crocodile knelt down on one knee, his face was sweating, his eyes were spinning, he clenched his teeth for support, and even bit the tip of his tongue to pass the pain stimulation. However, the terrifying Conqueror's pressure came, making him more dizzy, mentally and psychologically broken. With a bang, Crocodile dropped to his knees, facing Lupu, shaking. Although he didn't want to, but couldn't control it, Crocodile closed his eyes and fell to the ground with a bang, nearly. Vivi and the others were startled. Master Lupu's full-strength Conqueror's Haki really stunned Shichibukai, Crocodile. Chapter 081 Give birth to Robin and rebuild Ohara. Vivi they stayed, really can do it, it's horrible. It wasn't Minor who was stunned, but Shichibukai. For other people and even the strong, it is incredible, but for Lupu, it is normal. After all, in the theatrical version, the red-haired Conquerors knocked down flying squirrels, so Lupu's strength, Conquerors, and stun Crocodile are all normal. Although it is Shichibukai, but in Shichibukai, it is also ranked lower. In the original plot, it was defeated by Luffy who had not yet opened the second gear. The strength of Shichibukai is also very different, uneven. Soon the unrest in the country ceased, as it was known that Lupu appeared. Shengquan Lupu is here. Then what are we fighting for? It's up to Lupu the God Fist. Is this country going to be Lord Lupu's territory? That's great. Then, Lupu appeared, ushered in civilians, and worshipped by soldiers. Lupu told Crocodile's conspiracy, so that everyone in Alabasta could understand. So it is. Fortunately, Lord Lupu has appeared. Thank you Lord Lupu. The turmoil is gone, and we civilians don't have to suffer. In the future, Alabasta will become Lord Lupu's site, and I believe it will get better and better. This matter was solved so easily by Lupu without any hands, just a conquerors with all his strength. Half a day later, Crocodile woke up. The first time he woke up, Crocodile frowned, was shocked, and collapsed. Myself, I was really stunned by Conqueror's Haki. This kind of thing turned out to be true. Himself, a minor character. This is outrageous. Lupu appeared and said, don't break down, get stunned by my Conqueror's Haki, you should feel normal. Crocodile's face was ugly. You are so powerful, do you need subordinates? Of course you need it. After all, you will become the king of the world in the future. Even if you don't need your help to win the throne, but to rule the world in the future, you will naturally have some strong subordinates in charge of each place. Before that, you can do what you want things. Crocodile naturally has something he wants to do, and that is to become the One Piece King, which every pirate wants, including himself. Fortunately, Lupu is neither a marine nor a pirate, otherwise I would not have the idea of becoming the Pirate King. Crocodile also looks forward to how Lupu will rule the world in the future, and he doesn't like celestial dragons either. Crocodile decided, okay, I'll be your subordinate. Crocodile felt no shame in being Lupu's subordinate. Well, you can leave now, I will contact you if something happens. Crocodile left here with his partner Dasburnus. At this moment, Robin's face was a little heavy. Without the Baroque studio, he would have to find another shelter. Lupu said, Nico Robin, your hometown, I will rebuild it. This made Robin happy and surprised. You know my hometown. Of course, your hometown was destroyed by Buster Call, because they study the historical truth, which I admire. After all, I don't like celestial dragons, they are heroes, justice, not evil. It's just that the current rulers are celestial dragons, so you are condemned to sin. When I become the king of the world, I will return the name of the hero of Ohara, and the island of Ohara is still there, and it will be rebuilt there. Robin was excited and grateful, and believed that Mr. Lu Zeng would do what he said. After rebuilding, though, Ohara has only herself. Robin sighs. It's hard to rebuild Ohara when I'm alone. Advertisement. Lupu suggested. It's very easy, population migration, or offspring. It's up to you who you will be born with. This made Robin stunned. It is indeed possible to get married and have children. But, how much would that cost? Thank you Master Lupu. Lupu said. I will not protect you, you are still young, continue to hone your skills, do what you want, I believe you will meet a partner in the near future. Robin's heart trembled, just like what Saul said, there was longing in his heart. Lord Lupu, goodbye. Robin left, and in Lupu's heart, there was another candidate for the harem. In fact, I wanted to say in my heart that I had a life with Robin. Alabasta began to hold a banquet to entertain Lu Yu. Everyone in the country, thank you very much. Cobra, Vivi is more grateful. Without Lupu, their country is really doomed. This matter spread quickly. After all, there's something about Lupu that stands out. Soon, the world was shaken. Alabasta became Lupu's place. A country has become Lupu's domain. I'm envious, I hope my country can do the same. Lupu's power will grow stronger and stronger, and the Marine and world government will be even more panicked. When will we act against Lupu? It's been a while. We definitely can't be casual, Lupu is too strong, not to mention there are many enemies in the sea, Marine and world government. Unbelievable, Crocodile lost. It's not normal to lose, Admiral was hanged and beaten. No, didn't you see that? Jerome Rockdale was hit by Conqueror's Haki. What? Oh my god, really? Lupu's full Conqueror's Haki, Shichibukai Crocodile is stunned. 070 is too scary. Didn't destroy Buster Call with full strength before. Now with full strength Conquerors, Crocodile can be stunned. Quote. It's too scary. Conqueror's Haki can be so scary. I never thought that Shichibukai would be stunned by Conqueror's Haki. It's no surprise that Master Lupu did it. Master Lupu is a god. Before I didn't use all my strength, the 5 elite vice admirals all fainted, and Crocodile was stunned with all my strength, which is also normal. At this time, the most shocking is not the civilians, but the strong. Impelled down 6 floors underground. The legends looked at the newspaper. There's more and more fake news. Lupu did it. The result of the previous battle made us think it was fake news, but it was true. Lupu did not become cellmates with us. It's horrible, this guy. The Conqueror's Haki erupted with all its strength, and some people on the 6th floor of the basement were stunned. It's horrible, and I suddenly feel that this place is also very good. Naval Headquarters. Sengoku's face was heavy, so horrified. Military strength is useless in front of him. It seems that Doubly Punk has to vigorously create pacifists. The robot defense is strong enough to not be affected. At this time, it was the other Shichibukai who were shocked and unacceptable. Chapter 082. The Summit War will still break out. After all, it was the Shichibukai who were stunned, so wouldn't these Shichibukai lose face? At this point, Moria couldn't believe it. Crocodile stunned by Lupu's full conquerors, what a joke. It's that believable, but true. What was said about Lupu earlier was too unbelievable, but true. But now, it happened again unbelievably. The previous words, if you didn't see it with your own eyes, or heard it, you wouldn't believe it. But now after all, Lupu did it, so you have to believe it. It's really embarrassing to Shichibukai. Crocodile was stunned, but it doesn't mean that Shichibukai's me will also be stunned. It's that Crocodile is too famous, too weak, and is the weakest Shichibukai. Thinking this way, Moria felt that this must be the case. If she were herself, she would definitely not be stunned. At this time, Hawkeye looked at the newspaper and was shocked by it. However, Hawkeye didn't care and couldn't stun himself. Hawkeye's thoughts are confident and powerful, so he won't be stunned. After all, although Hawkeye is Shichibukai, but the world's #1 swordsman, his strength is not really Shichibukai. Shichibukai, the strength is uneven, and Hawkeye is naturally the strongest among Shichibukai. At this time, Doflamingo's face was ugly, and he smiled immediately. Fufufufu, what an exaggeration, but if it's me, I won't be stunned. Doflamingo is confident that in Shichibukai, his strength is at the forefront, so he cannot be stunned by Lupu conquerors. At this moment, Tien Laper was a little worried. Dover, Lupu is too strong, he did it to Crocodile because Crocodile wanted to take down Alabasta. And what we did, if Lupu knew, BB. Hearing this, Doflamingo frowned, and he was naturally worried in his heart. If Lupu knows, then he can't fight at all. Admiral was hanged and beaten, let alone him. Don't be so pessimistic, he won't know, as long as this matter doesn't spread, it will be fine. Naval Headquarters. Garp is happy, Lupu is so good that he didn't burst into conquerors at full strength before. Sengoku could only console himself. This is also a good thing. At least I know what kind of combat power is needed to deal with Lupu. The combat power of Crocodile will be stunned. Then, the combat power sent to besiege Lupu in the future will be at least the Admiral alternate level combat power. Quote. Sengoku did the math and was confident. And now, do the math and send most of the combat forces together to defeat him. But, you can't take it rashly, there are still many enemies in the world, and they will be taken advantage of. This can only be done as a last resort, and continue to improve strength. World conscription is already underway, and Vegapunk is also accelerating research and development, and the world government has invested more financial resources to assist Vegapunk. Therefore, pacifists will be produced in large quantities and will not be affected by Conqueror's Haki, and Seraphim will be produced in advance. In this case, it will be more sure to deal with Lupu. This is why Lupu is already growing himself, and why they don't panic. Because of self-confidence, even if Lupu is so terrifying, it is difficult to defeat them. In the short term, Lupu will not go to war with the world government and Marine, and it will take at least 5 years to grow its power. And during this time, Marine can become stronger and stronger. Advertisement. So, don't worry, in their opinion, Lupu can't make it. Between flowers. IM has already understood the situation of Uranus, and it will take 2 years for the energy to be restored to be usable again. Within 2 years, Marine and the world government will not attack Lupu, unless there are special circumstances, such as Lupu himself. But they felt that it was impossible. In the past 2 years, it is necessary to strengthen the strength of Marine and world government. I am confident that the next action will definitely kill Lupu. After Vegapunk's Seraphim is successfully manufactured, you can take action. It will take more than a year. At that time, 5 elders will guard Mariajoy, Marine's combat power, CP0 combat power. Seraphim, together with me leading the Knights of God, killed Lupu personally. To destroy the hope in the hearts of the world, I have to be the king to solve Lupu personally. Quote. Im's eyes were cold. Lupu, just let you live 2 more years. However, at this time, Sengoku contacted the 5 elders. From their point of view, it will take 2 years to deal with Lupu, but from Sengoku's point of view, it may take even less time. Sengoku, why do you say that? You think maybe it won't take 2 years. You have to fight Lupu, even on a large scale. Sengoku nodded. Yes, one reason is enough. When Fire Fist Ace wanted to help Lupu, he found out that they were sworn brothers. So, you guys get it. 5 elders understood immediately. Quote. We get it. That is to say, after catching Fire Fist Ace and publicly executing him, his elder brother Lupu will probably appear. Because Ace is Lupu's younger brother. Not necessarily, after all, he is not a real brother. Sengoku said. Prepare for the worst in everything, so, for Fire Fist Ace, do you need to let him go for 2 years? Don't you need to think about finding opportunities to catch him during this time? 5 elders refused directly. Absolutely not. Compromise in the face of evil. If you have a chance, you must catch that guy. After all, he is Roger's child. Yes, if you have an opportunity, you must seize it. After all, an opportunity can appear once, but it doesn't mean it can appear twice. If you don't seize the opportunity, it may take a long time. After all, you are a member of the Whitebeard pirates. Yes, catch him if he has the opportunity, and still publicly execute him. Sengoku nodded. Understood. At this time, Garp was listening, hoping to let it go. Because, if Ace is caught and executed publicly, he is likely to face the Whitebeard pirates. And Garp believes that, as the eldest brother, Lupu will definitely come to rescue him. However, 5 elders' answer was very decisive, and he acted when he seized the opportunity. He couldn't just see the opportunity and not act just because Lupu was Ace's elder brother. After all, he was Roger's son. Sengoku said in a condensed voice, if there is a chance in the future, I will catch it, and I will execute it publicly, even if I face the Whitebeard pirates and Lupu at the same time, I understand. Although there is a terrifying existence like Lupu, who is Ace's big brother, the Summit War will still break out later. Then, when the time comes, Lupu will inevitably join the battle on the top. Chapter 083. Jumping to 10,000-meter Sky Island, shocking the world. At this time, Lupu was near Sky Island. Naturally, Sky Island and Lupu also need to be gathered. Not only the ground, but the islands in the sky must also become their own territory. Moreover, Lupu also wants to experience the power of the mighty Logia and Thunder Fruit. In the original plot, although defeated by Luffy, but defeated by the protagonist Halo, the rubber is immune to lightning. However, it is also far-fetched. Lupu came to an island. Soon, a group of people surrounded them. It was the Ape Mountain United Army. Lupu recognized them, because it was Curry Guy. He is the final commander of the Tsuruyama United Army. They are descendants of Wen Brown Rolando, the protagonist of the story, Rolando the Great Liar, separated by 400 years. There is a chestnut on the head, the same as Rolando. 400 years ago, the ancestor Mont Blanc Nolando was executed by the king because he trusted his friend to the death and refused to deny the existence of the Golden Country, and he was notorious through the ages. The descendants of Wen Bulan's family were also looked at differently because of this incident. In order to find the truth, Mont Blanc Coolie Guy has been diving underwater for several years to prove the existence of the Golden Island. It was not until he met Luffy and his gang and helped them go to Sky Island that the truth came to light. Curry Guy was shocked. Yes, Shenquan Lukuo. After all, no one knows, Curry Guy and others recognized it at a glance. They are thinking, are they going to take their island as their own territory? 713. They are naturally happy, have a good impression of Lupu, and worship and respect him. It's me. Lupu nodded. What are you here for? Lupu looked at the sky above the sea in the distance, and said bluntly, I'm going to Sky Island. Sky Island. Curry Guy's eyes lit up. Master Lupu believes that Sky Island exists. Of course, the reason to go is to make Sky Island my territory. Curry Guy feels that if it is Lupu, then maybe it can be done. If you want to go to Sky Island, you need to take the upwelling current. I calculate the time, and it will be about 7 days later. Lupu shook his head. There's no need to take any upwelling current. This made Curry Guy and others startled, not riding the upwelling current. What does it mean? Then, Master Lupu, how do you plan to go up there? Lupu said indifferently. Just jump on it. In an instant, they were dumbfounded and jumped up, unbelievable. Curry Guy reminded. Master Lupu, Sky Island is located at an altitude of 10,000 meters, and it is impossible to jump on it manually. Although you are Master Lupu, you are extremely terrifying and exist like a god, but you also, BIDC, Lupu smiled. Since it means that I am like a god, then going to the sky is nothing. I am also interested in the altitude of 10,000 meters. Well, goodbye, I will tell you when I regain Sky Island. After saying that, under the horrified eyes of Curry Guy and the others, Lupu faced the sea. His knees were bent, his calf muscles were bulging and tense, and his strength exploded, and he jumped up with all his strength. Boom. As he jumped up, there was a deafening roar on the ground under his feet, and a large pit appeared directly, and the cracks quickly spread to the surroundings. Even, the whole island was shaken, making Curry Guy shake their bodies and almost fell down. And their eyes were extremely shocked, because Lupu shot straight into the sky. Terrible. In the blink of an eye, I reached an altitude of 1000 meters. The jumping ability is also terrible. There is no ability to fly, but only to jump, that's all. However, Sky Island is at an altitude of 10,000 meters, and it seems that Mr. Lupu's jumping ability is about to be exhausted, and he will fall at that time. Even if he falls, Lord Lupu is fine. Advertisement. Well, Lord Lupu is too strong. Even if he falls from 1,000 meters high, he will not be hurt. After all, it is the strongest creature. Lupu reached a height of 1,000 meters in one jump, and is still going up. When it reached 1,500 meters, the power of this jump was completely exhausted. Lupu stepped on the air, made a loud noise, countered the impact, and kept going upwards, obviously using ear steps. Marine 6 styles, all taught by Garp. However, Lupu's Marine 6 styles is definitely the strongest. After all, it has been improved 7 times. Under Curry Guy and the others' increasingly horrified gazes, Lupu's figure continued to climb rapidly. Lupu stepped on the moonwalk like this, constantly going up, at an extremely fast speed. After jumping for 10 seconds now, he has already reached an altitude of 5,000 meters. For other strong players, even Garp, can't just go to Sky Island like this. But for Lupu, it's easy. Bang bang bang. Constantly stomping on the air and making explosive sounds, Lupu's figure kept going up. Soon, there was a piece of white above, which was the 7,000-meter white sea. Lupu walked through it and continued up. Arriving here, the air is extremely thin, not to mention going up in this way. If you are a strong person, you will be suffocated long ago, because this kind of action requires a lot of physical exertion and oxygen requirements. For Lupu, it is not difficult, and Lupu's body, the strongest creature, does not feel difficult to breathe, and everything is as usual. 2 minutes later, Lupu came to Sky Island, 10,000 meters above the sky. If this incident spreads again, it will once again shock the whole world. As long as Lupu does something, it will definitely shock the whole world. After Lupu came to Sky Island, he moved his feet, which were only slightly sore. If you were a top powerhouse in the sea, when you reached the air, your feet would not be able to go up. Curry, Guy, and the others hadn't seen Lupu for a long time, and they hadn't come down for so long. They looked at each other, shocked in their hearts, knowing that they had succeeded. Horrible. As expected of Master Lupu. There is no need to take the upwelling current, and go up directly by manpower. It really is God. At this time, Naval Headquarters. Regarding Lupu's whereabouts, they will naturally pay attention. Although they dare not send warships to follow, Lupu is conspicuous after all. At this time, Sengoku knew about Lupu's latest news report. Upon hearing this, Sengoku was shocked. On Sky Island, and relying on human power. Although Garp was aware of Lupu's horror, he didn't expect it either. Ha ha ha, as expected of my grandson, amazing, this moonwalk, strong, quickly climbed to Sky Island at an altitude of 10,000 meters. Sengoku frowned. Obviously he wants to take Sky Island as his own territory, really, there must be his territory in the sky and on the earth, maybe there will be one in the sea in the future. Garp felt in his heart that based on his understanding of Lupu, he would definitely take the Fishman Island as his territory. But, naturally, he won't say it out, so that's fine too. After all, Garp naturally doesn't like murlocs being captured and sold. But, Marine doesn't care, after all celestial dragons like to buy murlocs as slaves the most. At this time, the first time Lupu came to Sky Island, Enel knew that there was an outsider. Lupu has knowledge-killing skills, so of course he doesn't know how to use them, so he has to let Enel know that he doesn't want to go to his parents and children to find them, and wait for him to deliver them to his door.